What's up, guys? After a long vacation, the triple threat main event is back again tonight. And tonight, boy, we have got a doozy, a doozy for you.
Doot, doot,
Uh,
doot.
doot. Tonight, we are looking at and dissecting Michael P.S. Hayes, the album from 1987, Off the Street. Now, if you guys don't know or watching this and don't know who Michael P.S. Hayes is, then
You've been
again,
very lucky.
I guess you were born after year 2000, probably. But remember the fabulous Freebirds, who were a big tag team back in, well, it started out in Georgia, went all through like world class, ended up in WCW. Never really spent a. I guess they drank a cup of coffee in WWF one time, and just I don't think Andre cared for them too much, and they got out quick. But like I said, tonight, Off the Streets, and with me as always is my co-host of the other podcast, On the Fly, with Jason. And his PS is not the same PS as Michael Hayes. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all, Michael Hayes' PS said sample purely sexy. This one is, and it might have an O in the middle of there. But anyway, Jason Worden, what is up, buddy?
God, I would say it's nice to see you again, but with that introduction, shit. Are you turning heel on me, man?
Really?
What the hell, man? Come on.
I couldn't resist when I saw that, though. What's going on, bud?
Not much, man. How you been?
Everybody's good. Everybody's good. And then we go to the
Down under.
Yep. The Hitman, Jack Pennachio. What's up, brother?
G'day, guys. What's happening? It's been a while, but there's a lot to catch up on in the world of WWE.
What is doot?
Oh,
we'll get to that.
Oh no, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. You obviously don't listen to some of Conrad's podcasts because
I try to avoid any podcast that guy's on.
Yeah, but you'll find out in a minute.
No offense, but it's just
he's good. He's way better now. Put it that way.
Yeah. Believe me, you know my story with him.
Yeah.
So
he ruined Jim Ross's podcast. Just saying. Because when Jim Ross would just sit there and talk without anybody, it was great. Now he does all these watch-alongs and stuff. Just like Eric Bischoff, which is fine for him, but JR was great with his own stories. But
actually, JR hasn't done a watch-along in a while, but JR has got something medically going on right now.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know
been
what
away
it
for
is.
about a month now.
He's almost 70, isn't he?
He did. Well, he went one time it's been about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He said he had to have some oral surgery done at a dentist office, and then he hadn't been back since. So I don't know if something else is going on. Or
he hadn't been on TV lately, right? He's not on AEW anymore, right?
Well, his AEW contract expired February 14th, so I heard. So I don't know.
Because this is his 50th year as well as in
with McMahon gone, he probably ain't gonna be back in the WWE then. I mean,
I reckon he would like to. This is me personally, because I'm a JR fan. Like I said, he's coming to 50 years in the wrestling business.
Yeah,
I reckon he would like to do one more WrestleMania to end.
And he needs to do the whole match. He doesn't just do one match like they did that with Austin. And then, come on.
Well, one thing I want him to do too is, we got Sting's last match coming up in Greensboro. And I would love to see, like they mentioned it a lot on the podcast, love to see him and Tony Schiavone call that match, because they were the ones that called the match that made Sting back in the first Clash of Champions in Greensboro against Ric Flair. They were the two that did that match. So it'd be nice to get Schiavone and JR to do that one.
A lot of the WWF, WWE, whatever stuff was blamed on Vince McMahon about, being petty. But I read Kevin Nash wasn't able to go to his last match. Why? It ain't like Kevin Nash is headlining. He ain't like he's headlining WrestleMania. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a little.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, and I don't think it was Triple H. Triple H probably wouldn't care. Then again, I don't know Triple H.
It's a TKO thing, I bet.
Yeah, I bet. I'm sure it is.
Because the AEW is not even competition for WWE. Not even.
Because Kevin Nash does WWE Rivals. which is
but he's not. But he's not a main eventer. I mean, he's retired. Nobody cares. I mean, we do because we are old, or me and Stevie anyway. But I mean,
But
it's
you're saying that. What's to say if someone goes, "Hey, Kevin, I got a ticket. I can't go. Do you want it?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
well, hell, it did in The Outsiders. Scott Hall did that, didn't he? I got a ticket. Remember that?
Ticket. But he's saying that.
I know. I
still,
just thought it was. I thought it was kind of shitty, especially all the as much as Sting means to Kevin Nash, and it ain't like Sting wasn't in the WWE. I mean, didn't he get in the Hall of Fame, or did he?
Sting is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Then why? I mean, have you noticed on Raw? I was watching not Raw, but I was watching the Elimination Chamber, and they mentioned something about somebody breaking one of Jericho's records. It's like, there it is. I mean, it's no different.
Oh, and they'll mention it when it comes to something like that.
People aren't going to mistake that Kevin Nash, is an AEW. I mean, it's just, I think it's a little petty. I think that's something the old man would have done, as Ross called him. But I don't know, man. I think that's a little much. I mean, hell,
maybe it's just
Ric Flair's in AEW and he's still on the intro. I mean, remember when he went over? They took him off. First of all, they put him back on there. So
they took the woo out.
Yeah,
did they take it out again?
Mm-hmm.
That's so. It's just, I don't know, man. I mean, I get it's a business and stuff, but AEW is not going to top WWE anytime soon. We know that. So
it's probably the timing of it all too, like with what's happening with WWE. And if they go, look, Kevin, if you go now, it might start something.
Yeah.
I think they need to worry about all that shit coming about Lesnar and McMahon and Laurinaitis. That's what they need to worry about.
Yeah, they definitely do. All right, somebody, I don't know who this is, and that's supposed to be Ole. Why is Ole so bitter towards Flair? Who's telling the truth? If you're talking about Ole Anderson is pretty much bitter towards everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Flair's
not just
pretty
Flair.
Bitter. Flair gets pretty bitter too, though.
Yeah, Flair does too, but Ole is a horse of a different breed. He's bitter. I don't know who you are, Facebook user. So if y'all you need to tell us who you are. If you guys come in on StreamYard from Facebook, you need to give them permission to put your name up here. So
maybe he's under witness protection. He doesn't want anybody to know who he is, Stevie.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's Flair. I want to find out if we know.
Maybe it's like the guy that did off the Jimmy Hoffman. Maybe he's got something to hide. He don't want nobody to know.
So catching up, we're on. Sorry about the spelling, Gig'em. It's Robert Matthews.
Well, that explains a lot right there. The spelling, because it comes from an Aggie. So hook 'em horns, baby.
Yeah. So catching up on the WWE, of course, Royal Rumble. We did the watch along with my buddy Kyle Barber. We sat up here for 4 hours talking. It was it was a marathon. I'll put it that way.
We're gonna do 4 hours tonight?
No, I'm not gonna do 4 hours tonight. Sorry about that. But
about to say, man. Yeah. How much did you listen to that Michael Hayes album? Did you like it that much? You got to talk about it for 4 hours.
We could dissect it for 4 hours on certain things. But so Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, and here comes The Rock taking over everything. And I guess things didn't go as well as WWE thought they were. People reacted a little bit different than what they thought. And Rocky starts getting booed. People start getting ticked off about the whole Cody not being able to finish the story. And then they adapt to it and pretty much turn Rocky full-blooded heel. He joins the Bloodlines. Everybody, if you're a wrestling fan, I'm sure you saw the press conference where Rock slaps Cody, and things start moving in that direction. So now it's definitely Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania 40
this week.
And but Cody says he wants to fight The Rock anytime. He made that statement this morning or tonight, wherever you're at in the world. This morning for me, and Worden probably last night for Pennachio. Makes that statement during the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and there's so much going on there and so many ways you can look at this. I really don't know, but I think they they adapted to, and you know, WWE's will say, "Oh, we had that planned this way the whole time," and I call BS on that because, yeah, I don't think that was planned that way the whole time. I don't know what you guys think about that. What do you guys think about the whole Rocky situation?
I don't think he's needed. I mean,
Oh, no,
I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, he was. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, there ain't no way they planned this shit because they had it where Cody hugged him. Okay, you can have your chance. It's like, oh, that's so stupid. And then they put it back. Well, I'm back in. Well, where's the Rock at now? Didn't we have a Rock in a Roman match? Now we have a Cody Roman match. It's going to end up being a 3-way. There ain't no way it's not going to be in a 3-way. I tell you what, I'm more interested in seeing the Seth and McIntyre match. That's going to be a better match than.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. I wasn't a fan of his dad. I had nothing against it, but it's like we saw this last year, you know?
Yeah.
And it was a lot more exciting last year because the bloodline was the best storyline going. I mean, WWE needs to get over bringing, you know, I'm sure they're not going to bring back Lesnar now, but they need to get over bringing back The Rock, bringing back, you know, Stone Cold was a one-off. That's okay. But Goldberg, I mean, they need to let their current stars do it. And that's Cody. The Rock had his day. And it's like, I like The Rock, but I'm not buying into this heel thing because he doesn't, I mean, Roman Reigns is the one I want to, you know, he's the bloodline guy. The Rock is just he's not needed, you know, let them fight their thing out. You know, I'd rather see Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. I mean, I think that would be better, you know, make that a triple match, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton and Cody, not The Rock. We don't need The Rock, you know, I mean, that's just, and I like
it. Doesn't make sense because they fumbled when CM Punk got injured. This is when it all started.
Mm-hmm. Everything changed.
Everything changed. Then The Rock came out before he went heel saying, you know, I'm hungry. Where am I going to eat? I'm going to eat at a booth, blah, 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 or eat at the head of the table. And it got people talking. And then the week later, The Rock whispers something in Cody's ear. The Rock's in the main event. And I was like, well, you've just taken away the whole idea of a Royal Rumble. You've waited. Now they're in damage control now.
Well, they didn't have a buildup of why we want to see Rock versus Roman.
No,
you know, we saw a buildup of why Cody versus Roman, but The Rock, I want to be the head of the table. I'm going to fight Roman Reigns.
But okay,
I mean,
if
there
the
was
Rock
no
wins,
buildup for that.
If The Rock beats Roman, what is he, champion, or are they just going to fight for the head of the table? And then the whole idea of the Royal Rumble getting a championship match is voided now.
Yeah,
but now it's back to normal. It's too much.
And they screwed up too because Seth was out there like, well, face me, and Cody was like, nah. I mean, it's already beat you twice. I mean, it's like, why did they have Seth out there? I mean, I love Seth. Seth's probably my favorite right now. But it's like, I mean, why are you wasting his talents? And that little thing they had today with the interview thing with those
Grayson Waller,
two guys. I mean, it was so predictable. It was like, oh, I'm going to stun him. Or, I mean, it was like, do we really need this? I mean, I'm glad Seth is going to be cleared, you know, but I'm looking forward more to McIntyre and him than I am Cody.
I find it funny how they fly 30 plus hours for a 10-minute interview.
I know, right?
That was the only thing they wanted to get to keep Cody's face on.
Cody's over. I'll give him that. Yeah. He's definitely over.
Keep his
but they could have made that into an impromptu match with Grayson versus Cody.
Exactly.
Something.
You know,
that
guys,
could have been a match. I agree with you.
My feeling, you know, this whole thing with Seth keeps saying, I'll be your shield. I got your back. Just going off past instances when a guy
he has a history of doing that, Stevie, does he?
When a guy keeps telling somebody on wrestling matches that I've got your back over and over again, and he's like overly enthusiastic about doing it, chances are he's going to turn on you for long.
I don't think that's going to happen because I think we've seen this match before. I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. But what do I know?
Double turn, guys. Double turn. Rock turns on Roman, and
you can't turn Rock face in 6 weeks. It's dumb.
And you can't turn Seth over too. He's too over. God, it took half a freaking hour for them to freaking go there. Both him and Cody's theme songs. There's no way you turn Seth.
You can't let The Rock leave as a heel, though. He can't. He can't do that.
I agree with that.
They will not let that happen. He'll turn babyface before he leaves there. He'll do something to turn babyface.
But you can't go around slapping the babyface of the company, doing his whole bloodline tree. I'm now part of the bloodline, and then in 3 weeks later,
you're with him. Yeah, I agree.
But here's the thing, and I've heard it. I've heard this theory on a lot of different places, online and everything else. Rock is. I mean, everybody's buying into the whole Rock holding his finger up like this.
Yeah, the loser.
Loser, and all this stuff. Saying Rock is actually, like whatever you call it, a double agent in the.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew it.
But he doesn't have to do that. He's the Rock. It ain't like he's a.
No, but I'm just saying this is the plan to get to Roman. That's what. And then they're saying he cost Roman the belt at WrestleMania, and they finally get the Roman Reigns Rock match at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam is such a letdown from WrestleMania. It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a theory that's out there.
But see, if Roman loses, it'd be the first time he's lost in a singles match in years.
Mm-hmm.
Him losing to The Rock, it's like, well, he already lost at Mania. This match is not even needed now.
Well,
I think it's going to happen.
You're going to fight, instead of fighting for a belt, you're fighting for a table chair.
Cody's going to beat Roman at Mania, and then The Rock and Cody are going to fight at SummerSlam. That's probably what's going to happen.
The best thing they could have done.
There's a rumor that Roman's going on vacation because he wants to shoot movies. So
yeah, the best thing they could have done was make it a 3-way match at Mania. Have Cody
happen.
Have Cody pin The Rock because Roman hasn't lost the belt.
That's true.
And then The Rock will go. The Roman will go. You made me lose this belt because you took the pinfall. There's your match.
Like when Seth pinned Roman instead of Brock at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You said Roman wants to take a vacation. What the hell has he been on for the last year?
Well, supposedly he's got stuff in Hollywood to do. You know, when you have connections like your cousin, The Rock, I guess. I don't know.
This guy wrestles like once every 3 months. I mean, and it's because there's some premium live events he doesn't wrestle at. He doesn't even show up for.
He didn't come to
he doesn't have the.
Yeah, was he there today? No,
I don't think he came at all. Undertaker did.
I don't think he did. No, Undertaker was there. I mean,
because he went in that cave or whatever, right? That thing or whatever.
But
I don't even think he came for media. Nothing.
No, he made a few comments, but I saw some few comments he had made about Australia and stuff like that, but nothing really. Like he didn't do any media.
When is that Saudi Arabia thing? Is that after WrestleMania or before?
I don't know.
It'll be after this. There's no more pay-per-views until Mania now.
Okay, because I was thinking, is that where Cody and Rock are going to fight? But
they did an interview with Natalia on Busted Open, and she was there. She's in Saudi Arabia for that experience. Why don't they bring that? I mean, why are you putting it in Saudi Arabia when you can put it over here? Because they're talking about like
Saudi Arabia pays a lot of money.
They book their own matches apparently.
Yeah,
matches you see on Crown Jewel is what
they wanted the Macho Man to come back. That would have been a great comeback, huh?
Oh, that's cold there, dude.
No, they did. There was a thing where they wanted.
But
it's like, okay, that's not going to happen.
we can't do that. I mean, so yeah, we got 42 days before WrestleMania, so lot's going to go down in the
42 days. This is the last pay-per-view, really? Wow.
Yeah. So that, I mean, really, it's the end of the month.
And 4 or 5 Raws.
You can't have
WrestleMania's in April.
It's the first weekend of April.
The 8th, right, or something like that.
Yeah. So
I'm old enough to remember when WrestleMania was in March.
Yeah.
I remember when they used to have pay-per-views every month.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm kind of like, wow.
And
what, In Your House is too busy to make an appearance, or what? In Your House?
Very nice main event.
Did y'all watch the rest of it? I thought it was very predictable. You know, Becky Lynch is going to win. I don't know who that new blonde is with the women.
Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
Tiffany
she's
Stratton.
my favorite wrestler.
She got put over by losing.
But she's good, and of course Liv Morgan's good. I mean,
Well,
I
I'll
mean,
tell
you don't
this.
you don't have the, you used to have the divas being hot and they couldn't wrestle. They're hot and they can wrestle now. So I'm just, hey, I mean, I think the women's outdid the men's again. I mean, the men's was good, but I think the women's was great.
The women's was a pretty good match for Elimination Chamber.
I'm a big Becky Lynch fan. I like her. And you know who I'm a big fan of? Logan Paul. He's good. He's done good.
The Stratton
I hate to say it, but he's good.
The Stratton girl, as good as she did tonight, she was terrible at Royal Rumble. I don't know if you guys watched it or not. But
I don't have the attention span to remember that, Stevie.
She botched spots like crazy at Royal Rumble, but tonight she really, really did good. I mean, she had the crowd pulling for her.
Yeah,
they booed when she got pinned.
So with Becky Lynch winning, are we seeing a heel turn on her? Because what's her name's becoming popular? Because they were. I mean, she's from Australia. But is Rhea becoming a face and Becky Lynch is becoming a heel again?
That's the thing about Ripley now. She's still, people are cheering her, but she's still with Judgment Day.
But you don't see her with them as much anymore. I mean, she made no appearance with them.
But she did the whole shimmy shake like Dom does when she got up there on the turnbuckle to do the frog splash.
And what's his name going to cash in that freaking Money in the Bank, dude?
He hadn't got long. He's got to do it.
I like him, man. He's probably my favorite member of Judgment Day.
The thing is, he's got the briefcase at the worst time. You know what I mean?
Did you see the freaking fucking what's his name went to Austria?
Everybody.
That was so good.
That
man.
was funny, dude. Where everybody at? Where everybody at? I mean, that was hilarious, dude. They need to keep him going with that. He's funny, dude. God, R-Truth kills me, dude. You ever go back and watch those TikToks when he made like Lesnar laugh? I mean, he's I mean, he's great, dude. They need to keep him around.
The funniest bit I keep saying is he was in the ring with Lesnar and Heyman. It was before the Royal Rumble, and he goes, "I'm going to throw you over the top rope, Paul Heyman." And Paul Heyman goes, "I'm not even in the damn match." And Brock's pissing himself laughing in the back.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
You know, he was NWA heavyweight champion in TNA.
He was Ron.
He was what?
He was he beat Ken Shamrock to be the NWA heavyweight champion when TNA first started.
Yeah,
but he was back in the day. He was a good wrestler. He was. I mean, you can't take anything back. I mean, the dude's he's like 52, man. So,
but he held the 10 pounds of gold belt, man. He had
but he's not a bad wrestler. I mean, Ron Killings is his name.
Ron Killings.
I mean, he had a thing before that. I mean, he has like a. You know who I miss is that who's that guy with the snake or whatever? The
Santino Marella.
God, he was hilarious. John Cena's.
John Cena. It's Cena.
John Cena.
That's right.
Yeah. And he got Cena to laugh.
He was like, I wasn't ready when he got Royal Rumble. I wasn't ready. The best entrance ever, Titus O'Neil, dude. Can
you imagine if that happened now with those solid LED signs?
He would be.
He'd be all cut up and everything.
Yeah, he would be in terrible shape.
What are you talking about?
If Titus did that now. With the way the ring is. Yeah.
How the ring? I'm not following. What's going on?
So the ring doesn't have curtains anymore. It's all like the solid LED lighting.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Imagine if he came down head first into that.
Yeah. Maybe he saw it coming and go, hey, I got to make one more splash. I mean, that couldn't have been on purpose, could it? I mean,
no. His foot
hit the mat. You felt bad for the guy, man. I mean, he seems like a good dude, man. I was like, oh, he
does a lot for charity. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah.
So,
well, another thing, we talk about the women's match. Of course, Becky Lynch wins the Elimination Chamber. She will head to WrestleMania to supposedly take on Rhea Ripley, who beat Nia Jax in a match that
was a good match.
Yeah, Nia Jax, she took her out a lot. I mean, she was really physical with Rhea.
She didn't hurt her just like she did Becky Lynch.
To the point,
did she break like Becky Lynch's nose one time or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. But to the point where, I was like, is she really are they gonna mess up and let her lose this match in her home country? I was like, no, they can't do that.
No.
But
They can't
Not
take
in
a
the main
foul off
event.
her.
that was a very physical match that Rhea gets a win, of course, with her family in the front row.
Man, her
celebrating.
sisters look just like her, man. If without all the goth stuff on.
Well, when she first came, she had blonde hair. I mean, when she started out in NXT,
I don't know, man. She's got that look and everything. She's pretty hot with that look. I mean, she was good looking before, but I don't know. It's like, am I afraid or turned on by her?
The one thing I find really odd with Australian wrestlers, they can't, when they speak on the mic, it sounds so different. When they're in the ring trying to be scary and tough, and they have this Aussie accent, it just sounds so off-putting.
Yeah, it's not very intimidating. I mean, I mean, I don't know if you remember, Worden, if you were watching WWF back in the day, when they had that guy come around, and I don't know if you've seen him or not on YouTube or not, Pennachio. It was a little before your time. Outback Jack.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this guy was. I don't
Crocodile
know.
Dundee, like a Crocodile Dundee ripoff.
Yeah,
right?
he wasn't.
Then they had the other guy, the Gator guy, that was Steve Kern, right? Didn't he have
Steve
him
Kern?
too?
Steve Kern.
Yeah,
Talking about Skinner. Steve Kern was from
Skinner,
Florida.
that's right.
He was from Florida. So
I saw that. What was that one guy? I'm gonna go have an Outback onion. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, blooming onion. Yeah, from Outback.
They're pretty good though. I mean, I give
they
them
are
that.
good, but
they are good.
You probably
that's something you tell Australia. It's
yeah.
like,
But yeah,
that guy. Who was that guy? Was that one guy was from Australia, wasn't he?
Grayson Waller.
Not the other guy. Is he from Australia?
Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, it's from Sydney.
I tell you what, Austin Theory, man, he's a good guy to get his ass kicked. I mean, he's pretty good heel.
He takes
the bumps, man.
Dude is jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is. He's a good talker too. He just he's a good talker. I mean it.
How many times are these reporters going to confront him about wrestling being fake though?
It's so dumb. They've done it.
They're doing it to get a rise out of him, and they know they can get a rise out of him, and they did it again. Australia.
John Stoss will not show up or what?
No, the guy said, "Well, it's fake," and Theory was like,
"Well, they don't go to movie stars and go, hey, your movie, you're not really."
But see how they did it? They filmed it as if it was in. They caught him talking in the back room with a phone. Who did it first? About 30 years ago, who was it?
It was Dr. D, David Schultz.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
Guess we can get away playing a Nazi. Remember that? He was like a Nazi character.
They were doing the Dr. Schultz.
He popped John Stossel and then the
fake?
Did you guys see the Beyond the Mat or whatever that thing with him? Man.
I didn't see that.
He was like, they did an interview with him. Boy, he is backwoods. I mean, it's like the kind of guy you run into Deliverance. They're gonna do the new one with Earthquake.
John,
they say
you mean Dark Side of the Ring, not Beyond the Mat.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
I think I saw it on Instagram. They say that he was like a real beloved dude. That he, like, even Flair said he was a good dude, and he did a lot for charity and stuff. And 42, man. I mean,
do you
Jack?
remember,
when you get to me and Stevie's age, you look back at guys that died younger than us. It's like, that hurts.
Well, like I said, I'm turning 35 this year, and you see a lot of sports stars.
Oh, poor thing!
A lot of sports stars passing away in their 30s.
Is it past your bedtime?
Almost.
It is mine.
Do you remember?
Jack,
do you remember when back during the Attitude Era when they had that group called the Oddities? Earthquake was one of them. Had a mask on.
Yeah, that was him. Wow, that was him.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that, but yeah. And shortly after that was when I think the cancer got him. So
bladder cancer. God, can you imagine that?
Bad cancer to have right there. Dude.
There's just some places you shouldn't get. I mean, God, poor guy.
None
family guy too. Evidently, like a big family guy. They talk about him, and like Hogan talks about like Big Boss Man, that they were just good guys.
Yeah, Ray Trailer.
Big Boss Man. I remember when he did that that thing with the Big Show with his dad at the funeral. God, that was cold blooded.
That was
That
was
was
attitude
good,
era crap right there too, dude.
Yeah.
There is
So-
a lot of good episodes coming up in this season too now.
Who else besides him?
So you had Earthquake. Who else? They went through them a little bit. With
Jericho still.
they don't know yet if Jericho's doing it. So
Did y'all see that Tammy Snitch, or I guess her new mugshot? I read there was some guy talking on there how she was using like Chris Candido's like name when she was getting sentenced, but they were saying that it was really bad because she fucked around on him and like with Shawn Michaels and all that stuff back in the day, and you're using it because they had that one on her. It's like you talk about somebody that got a lot of chances. I mean, there ain't a lot of people that get many chances. She got a lot of chances.
And if you ever listen to Jim Cornette talk about her, he is like really disappointed in it.
he feels he comes across as a failed parent. Like he tries so hard.
Yes.
But they came out of that Smoky Mountain, didn't they?
Yeah.
God, I just remember. I mean, I know that Jack probably doesn't remember, but man, to be America Online's most downloaded celebrity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right after Al Gore invented the internet, it came out to the rest of us. And that was a big thing. Cause I mean, when you first got internet, it was like through America Online. If you didn't know much about technology, cause it was like,
it was simple.
Dummies. I mean, it was simple. Yeah. I loved her. I thought she was great.
So let's talk about the tag team championship match. Of course, the Judgment Day against New Catch Republic.
Ugh, what a name.
So
I take it from that, because Sheamus is not there anymore at the moment.
Right.
Rich Holland is injured, so I'm guessing.
Right.
Sheamus's contract's up. There's talk about him going to AEW. He kind of did something on Instagram that made everybody kind of freak out.
So I'm guessing the Brawling Brutes is not a thing anymore.
No, they're he
Brawling
changed.
Brutes.
What was his name? That was who Sheamus and these two guys, or Rich Holland and
who are the guys that rescued R-Truth and he said they were DX? Who are those guys?
That's DIY.
DIY.
Yeah, and he said
so they did. So
that's
this
why
was
he called
So
it.
Pete Dunne used to be called Pete Dunne, but then he came to WWE, became Butch.
So was this a SmackDown or a Raw event or mixed?
I think this was
SmackDown.
Was it
okay.
SmackDown?
I think Pete Dunne's on SmackDown.
They got so many people that it's hard to keep track of.
Oh, you talking about the whole Elimination Chamber event?
Yeah, was that a Raw or a SmackDown?
That's
mixed.
That's
Okay.
mixed.
Oh, it was the mix, yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't really watch. I watch Raw, but I don't watch SmackDown. There's just so much going on. There's too much to pay attention to sometimes.
But I really think that this New Catch Republic is going to end up winning the belts. I think they're going to.
The guys that just beat.
Yeah, because they're really catching fire. That Pete Dunne is a really good wrestler. They should have never changed his name to Butch. That was stupid, but because I'm thinking of is the
Remind
guy
you of an ex-girlfriend, Stevie, or something? Butch? Or?
The Little Rascal. I'm thinking of the guy from the Little Rascal.
When he was Butch and they had him like that little rabid dog, I think Corey Graves let it slip once because he's a little rabid Wolverine. And Michael Cole's goes,
Benoit.
Yeah.
So where was Sammy?
I
think
he was
lost,
like a year ago.
He lost a match to be in the chamber.
Yeah, McIntyre beat him because they had qualifying matches for the chamber to get to the chamber.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate seeing people like Kevin Owens and him wasted. I mean, I just wish.
Oh, that's what me and Pennachio were talking about before we went on the air. What are they going to do with Owens now? Because we'll get into.
They're going to put him against that guy because he beat the shit out of what's his name.
The men's elimination chamber. his big rival was Logan Paul, which now
And he went in the thing and beat the shit out. It was great.
yeah, Logan Paul is probably going to be fighting Randy Orton at WrestleMania after hitting him with the brass knucks to cost him the match. So, and then AJ Styles comes out of nowhere.
Damn, he beat the crap out of freaking what's his name, dude.
Get LA Knight out of there, so that's going to be a match at WrestleMania there.
Dude, it almost looked like he was really pissed, dude. That's great. I love it.
AJ has been he's been a performer for a while. He can make it look like he really is.
AJ is probably the best thing that ever came out of TNA. I mean, he's homegrown.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
TNA's greatest. I mean, I watched him back when he did that whole Dixie Carter. I mean, when he's with Flair. I mean, AJ Styles is awesome.
AJ actually was about to hit it big in WCW before they got sold. He was in a tag team. He was in a tag team called what was it called?
That old
something, yeah.
With Eli Skipper, I think that was him, and they were a tag team. And when WCW did the cruiserweight tag team belts that Mysterio and Kidman won, I think I may be wrong. I think Styles and his partner were in the finals in the championship match against those. So he was about to hit it big with WCW and then gets yanked out from under him. But guy's still in his prime. You ask me, he's good. He's one of my favorites. I like AJ. Yeah. But yeah, that sets up a match at WrestleMania with LA Knight and Styles. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. But evidently Bronson Reed was supposed to be there. You guys hear about that? And
he was supposed to verse Seth,
yeah.
I believe.
And I guess he stayed behind because his wife went in labor. Is that what I'm hearing?
I thought Seth wasn't really cleared to wrestle yet.
But there was a reason he stayed behind. He tweeted it out. I think it had something to do with either his wife went into labor or he stayed behind for his baby or something like that. And
what's his name? Wife still wrestle? Who's the announcer? Corey Graves. Is his wife still wrestle?
His wife is she's still out on maternity leave.
He's a guy that really has really. I think I like Pat McAfee, but him and Michael are great. I mean, you don't like Pat McAfee?
No, I'm not a fan.
Oh, yeah. I like him. I like Corey Graves and I like Michael Cole, but I like Pat McAfee too.
So Reed, full disclosure, this is what he tweeted. Originally, I was set to be at Elimination Chamber. It would have been an incredible moment. Unfortunately, plans changed, but everything happens for a reason. My wife and I have had our baby early. I was supposed to miss the PLE to make sure I'm here for my family. Thank you for all your support, to all my friends and family who have reached out, to Triple H for guiding me. Now I'm not just big, I am Big Papa. So, yeah. Are you taking pictures of us, man?
Yeah, I got to take pictures of my list because I didn't save it. I don't have a printer. I'm a cheap bastard, okay? I made it. Okay, I'm back.
I wrote one down.
Yeah, I wrote mine down too. So
I had it, and I used to save it to my phone, but I left it at work. I'm like, son of a bitch. Did it on my work computer. So.
But so that match ends up with, of course, Drew McIntyre winning elimination after Randy Orton gets knocked out by Logan Paul. And Orton really sold that back to a point where I was like, is his back really hurting or what?
Back on again.
He sold that back really well.
Did you see Rhea Ripley when she jumped out of the ring? She's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I think she really stung herself.
But before we get away from the Judgment Day match, a lot of people were talking about the screen going black.
Yeah, what was up with that?
It was not technical difficulties. It was done to censor out the front row of the crowd they were all flipping off Dom and talking trash to Dom.
That's great heat, brother.
That's Aussie crowd, man. That's the Aussie crowd for you.
Oh yeah. That did your sound go out too for a while? Was that the same thing?
No, my sound went out in the chamber match.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it went out. It's like, is somebody cussing or whatever?
I don't know. They may have been. The crowd was really into it, but especially when Dom was out there. But
That's
I
great.
know
That's
it
great
went-
heat, dude. That's awesome heat.
It went
And,
black.
honestly, you see Dom normally seems like a good guy, dude. I mean, but people hate his ass. It's
I
great.
swear, when he was on the mic and the crowd were booing him, I swear they turned his mic down a little bit to
Yeah.
make it sound like he was, because he was yelling, but his voice was very low. But my God,
Yeah.
man, the second he opened his mouth, they just booed him.
Yeah,
But you talk about having, money. I mean, that guy, it's great, man. I mean, you got to have. I mean, if people don't pay attention to you, you're SOL. But if they love you, they hate it, dude. You got the money, dude. People hate that guy. It's great.
Yeah.
Did y'all notice every time they showed Logan Paul, the crowd would really start booing every time his face would pop up. It go boo, and then it go away. Then all the time boo. Wow.
People don't like that guy, and I don't really either. But yeah, but he's a good worker. I mean, he's
a heck of a
he's
performer.
a good worker.
If I watched him wrestle now, didn't know nothing, I would have thought he'd been wrestling for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
The dude skips it.
He's been around.
It reminds me of like when Lawrence Taylor fought Bam Bam Bigelow. I mean, you'd think, oh, it's going to be a horrible match, but shit, Lawrence Taylor did pretty good.
Lawrence Taylor was blown up like I don't know what. Boy, he looked like he looked like he had been running out of the crack house all night.
He was probably sober. That's probably what happened.
No, I mean, a lot of these guys think, they're athletes and all that. And, we got this. But yeah, you don't run them ropes over and over again. And
hell, just the running on the ropes, man, that would probably put more people out because that just screws up your back, man.
Yeah.
It'll wear you down.
You can call it fake, you can do all that shit, but you think about it, a lot of actors have stuntmen. I mean, these wrestlers do their own stunts. I mean, come on.
That's exactly what Chris Jericho says. He goes,
oh yeah, exactly.
In movies, you go, oh, do another take, do another. Wrestling goes, we only get one go at it. He hates the word botch.
Like Sid Vicious said, let's do it again. Oh, we're live, brother.
Yeah. Oh, let's do it. We're live.
Well, yeah, that's exactly
we're live.
They get one go at it. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep. You screw up in there, everybody sees it.
When Kevin Owens was going crazy in the pod, I was waiting for the plastic to break.
Shit out of
You're talking about the same kind of glass that is made for bulletproof glass that they kept talking about. Cole kept saying that over and over. This is the same glass that a bulletproof glass is used for. Yeah, okay.
We use this in the Pope Mobile.
There was one, I think it was Drew and LA Knight in the first 5 minutes. They went up to Kevin's pod. I think Drew threw LA into the pod and Kevin's door opened a little bit and the ref outside just bashes it closed again. And Kevin goes,
I think if there's a most improved wrestler this year, it's got to be McIntyre because I think he's gotten better because he was a little stiff when he was a good guy going into a heel, but man, he's great now. I mean, especially with that CM Punk stuff. Yeah, he's great. I usually like heels, so of course I'm a big McIntyre fan.
But he's like
I wasn't crazy about his hair transplant. You notice how he was all balding and all of a sudden he's got full head of hair.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But I mean, they say that he's got an agreement after WrestleMania. They need to hold on to that guy because I think he's good. I think he may beat Seth. It wouldn't surprise me. Seth wants to take some time off or whatever.
But I think he's like a Jake the Snake heel where he gets on the mic. He's not yelling. He's just saying facts. He goes, I put CM Punk on the shelf.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And when he's taking those pictures in front of the gravestone with CM Punk's WrestleMania, was great. But also with CM Punk, when he said that shit about Roman and The Rock looked at him when they were at that kickoff thing in Vegas. I mean, I think they just let CM Punk go off, and CM Punk's a great talker. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, he can't stay healthy, evidently, but he's a hell of a talker.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see what would have happened if Punk had stayed healthy. I mean,
it's too bad. I'm not a big CM Punk fan, but I think the product's better with him. I mean, hopefully he's learned his lesson, what happened in AEW, because I think that was bad what he did, but he's got to know this is his last shot. So
yeah,
I mean, he's not a young guy anymore. So
he's getting hurt quicker and easier now.
Yeah,
and staying out longer. So
I mean, you look at the time he spent before the whole AEW fiasco. Actually, that night when everything broke down of the whole incident backstage, that was when he got hurt and was out for a while there. So, and now come back and isn't even around 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, and he's hurt again out for a big period of time. Maybe Punk could go commentary. Maybe they need to keep him on commentary a little bit because he did a good job at that press conference. And he's
a good talker.
Big E did a good job at the press conference too.
Yeah. What's the deal with him? Is he got his neck got hurt, right?
He broke his neck.
He was nearly paralyzed.
Yeah,
that's how close it was.
They don't know if he'll be able to come back or not. I mean,
I don't think he should.
I wouldn't risk it. I mean,
hell, I didn't think Edge would come back, and look what happened to him. I mean, they can do modern with the neck now. Yeah. So, as far as the PLE or whatever you want to call it, pay-per-view, I'm like Worden. I thought it was kind of predictable. No big surprises. You pretty much knew who was going to win. Ripley's not going to lose that match and lose the belt in her home country. That's not going to happen. I don't think she's.
No big champion is ever going to lose the belt 4 weeks of Mania. It's never going to happen.
No,
I don't think she's going to lose at Mania. I think she's too big. I think that it'll be a good match with Becky Lynch, but I don't think she's going to lose anytime soon.
I think Bailey will come out as champion.
Yeah,
against who?
Against that whatever name is the girl.
Oh, they turned on Bailey, right? Is she? Yeah. Okay, that's right.
I think
I wasn't a big Bailey fan with the streamers, but I like her now. I think she's pretty good now. I love her back and forth with Michael Cole. That's funny.
Yeah. But this girl, what is her name? Dakota Kai, is that her?
Yes.
You think she's going to turn back? You think this is the whole plan to turn on Bailey again?
Oh, it all is. I
don't see. I mean, that's so obvious. It's so obvious. I'm questioning it because I mean, you've seen it so many times where, oh yeah, they and then last Friday night or last night on SmackDown, she said they attacked me, but you never saw it. So I mean, I think she's going to end up turning her back on Bailey. But so that'll pretty much do the Elimination Chamber. The only other thing that really out there to talk about is Sting's last match coming up. Him and Darby are fighting the new look Young Bucks.
So what's up with what did Ric Flair do? He's turning heel or something? What did he do?
Well,
he's trying.
I don't know what's gonna happen with that. He said he went to the Young Bucks and said he was disappointed, and he thought he'd have more role in what was going on with the Sting match and all this stuff. And I don't know. I would think if he was going to turn, if they were going to turn Flair, they would have turned him. They would turn him that night.
Yes.
When's the last match?
It's coming up.
I think March. Is that
Revolution? Pay-per-view or is it on TV?
Yeah, pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah. I don't watch TNA as much as I should. I mean,
you mean AEW?
Well, that TNA too, I guess.
Yeah,
I watch. TNA. I mean, I don't watch it. I mean, I get my updates from you guys. So
yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do there. That could be like Flair double crossing the Bucks or something like that. I don't know.
But Sting is so over now because of his last promo.
Yeah. Oh,
his dad
just passed. If Sting goes over and Darby Allin, who does he give the belt to?
Are they the tag team champions or what?
They're the tag team champions.
Yeah.
That was stupid to put that
they'll
on.
Have to if they win, I think they'll just vacate the belts.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why the Young Bucks are involved, right? Aren't they going to get a title shot or something? Or is
the Young Bucks are that's a title, that's a championship match.
Young Bucks will win it. They'll probably win it. There'll be an ending that
I don't think
the title's up or something. I don't know.
I don't think Tony knows how to book tag teams because
I don't think he does either.
Last year at Wembley, they had Adam Cole and MJF become Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. But on the same night, they were versing each other for the AEW title.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think he gets. You can't just put a title on Sting for the sake of it. Like, great, I'm happy he gets one more go, but we all knew months ago he was retiring.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, the thing was too, people were saying, you know how they keep up and put on the screen like a tag team's record.
Yeah,
but him and Darby have never lost. So
they have
like,
never lost.
Yeah, they were like, well, they've got to give them a title shot. We need a title shot. And like you said, that promo he did about his dad. Oh gosh. I mean, if Sting wasn't over before then, which he is, he was even more over after that. Because that was something else. But yeah, I'm kind of torn. I'm like 50-50 on this. You listen to a lot of people like Bully Ray and them talking about it, doing the deed. Your last match, seeing the lights, which means getting pinned. But do they want to do that? Mark Henry's like, I don't know if they want him to lose that last match. But
because that's a very New Japan thing for wrestlers who are leaving to lose, no matter what.
Yeah, but that kind of, if you're going to go that route, that makes it so predictable.
Yeah.
That okay,
Yes.
if this is his last match, he's going to lose. So
unless they lose and Darby gets pinned,
yeah,
don't let Sting take the pin.
Yeah, that could happen.
Or they just have a double count out or something that they just,
But they're gonna, they Busted Open talked about it. They talk about it a lot. It's at least a couple of episodes a week where they talk about what they should do. And all of them agree that even if he does lose, he's still going to have his moment after it's over. If he loses, the Bucks need to go ahead, get out, don't celebrate in the ring, and just let him have it.
And they don't need to turn Flair heel, because the only reason they turned Flair heel is there's going to be a match between those two in the future. They don't need to do it.
No, exactly.
That's taking away from Sting's moment.
Yep, I agree.
Sting and Flair had their moment. They had the very last match in WCW.
Yeah, true.
So it's
I was never a big Sting fan. I was more Flair or whatever, but I mean, the guy's had a hell of a career. I mean, you put him up next to the Ultimate Warrior, the guy he started out with. I mean, there's no question that Sting's better.
Oh yeah,
and I never with the Ultimate Warrior. I could never buy into the guy. Sting, I had my moments with him, but I remember what I liked Sting. I think my favorite was when he was with Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner and Missy Hyatt.
UWF.
South. Yeah. Mid-South UWF. That's what I liked it. But
JR talked about it on his podcast about the big difference between Sting and the Ultimate Warrior, especially back when they just came on and were in Mid-South. Sting always he was drawn to the veterans like Eddie Gilbert, all the veterans there. He wanted to learn. Ultimate Warrior thought he knew everything.
Yep. That's
why Bill Watts fired him. Got rid of him, sent him down the road. So, and Sting said, "I'm saying."
Did you see that new conspiracy theory that Vince McMahon had the Ultimate Warrior killed or something like that? He
had him poisoned.
Poisoned or something like that. I'm like, God. I mean, I'm glad for the Ultimate Warrior. It was cool to see him humbled a little bit and to make up with everybody. If there's a way to go out, you make friends with your enemies and you just bury everything. I mean, it sucks for the kids, his kids and his wife that died.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's great they do that thing. But I mean, it's like, because they were just trash talking the guy. But it seemed like the guy learned at the end that what he was thankful for. That he made amends. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, how many have we lost somebody that we wish we would have made amends with? It's like. I mean, people drop dead every day, and it's like, it's like, oh, God, I wish I could have said something, but it seems like he did that. So good for him.
Yep. I just didn't think he would, after he got things straight, he would be gone the next day. That was
God. He didn't look healthy either, man.
No, he was sweat.
He looked very bloated.
Yeah.
like struggling.
Didn't one there like a history of heart disease in his family or something like that? Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
Possibly.
I just remember that I used to get stuff from emails from him, and
Oh,
I
really?
mean, he was like starting his own religion. I mean, he like in like the mid '90s and stuff.
Oh, yeah. He
I
thought,
mean, he got out there, man.
and that's what I'm talking about. I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but that's what I'm talking about. That ego,
Yeah.
thinking he can't be wrong, and yeah, that's what
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. I mean, I heard Jake the Snake talking about Jake was supposedly going to get a run with him when Warrior had a championship, and Jake went back there to talk to him, and Warrior told him, he said, "Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about your wife or your kids." And yeah, so he was like, "Oh, when I think things changed, and Warrior got let go shortly after that."
I saw something on Facebook. It goes, "Say one good thing about the Ultimate Warrior." I'm like, he had great hair.
Well, he did when he was in WWF, but
Yeah, he had some rock star hair. I mean, he had some good hair. But
Yeah.
that guy was just, I mean, it just with him, it's like you can tell when somebody's natural or whatever. I mean, it's
the good old Dingo Warrior.
Yeah.
Gary Hart.
Yep. So let's get to our main event for tonight. All right, first of all, so we can let Worden and Pennachio tell the Doot story.
So apparently, Brian Gewirtz was the one who first heard it in a meeting. They were trying to do a match, and they couldn't think of a way to do it. Long story short, there's like whatever it was, and then Michael comes in and goes, "Oh, we're just gonna do this, do that, and Doot, new champion."
Well, we can say what we want to about Michael Hayes, but I learned something last week. He's still involved with like doing the Roman Reigns thing, evidently.
Oh yeah, he's still in creative.
I mean, it's
yeah.
wow. I mean, it's like that's awesome. I mean,
Hayes is really good at the creative stuff.
You know, my mom worked for Southwest Airlines for like 30 years or whatever. And I remember that the airport here in San Antonio, Herb Kelleher, the guy that started the airline, there was a picture of him smoking a cigarette because that was his big thing. And he was like arm wrestling somebody. And Michael Hayes was right there. Well, it's on YouTube, but they had some kind of thing where they had all the Southwest employees and he was fighting some other airline guy. But Michael Hayes was the guy involved with that. He was, the guy involved with Herb Kelleher, this like billionaire from Southwest Airlines doing this stuff. I mean, you talk about the Von Erichs down here, but I mean, Freebirds are pretty damn big too. And, Michael Hayes has always been one of my favorites. He kind of reminds me of David Lee Roth a little bit. He's still stuck in the 80s. I mean, but like that, but God, you got to love him like Roth. It's just like, hey, the 80s were my heyday. That's where I want to live. And both of them do that.
When you used to watch like the Hall of Fame thing, one of the things you watch for was to see what Michael Hayes was wearing at the Hall of Fame, because it was some outlandish outfits. But yeah, I remember, I think the first time I got to see him, I'd read all about them, about the Freebirds in the magazines, because they were either in UWF or they were in World Class until like I think '87 when Crockett bought the UWF, and they showed up as part of the Great American Bash Tour that year, and I was like, wow. And you hear the Bad Street song, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, Hayes is a heck of a performer. Maybe not the greatest wrestler in the world, but he's a heck of a performer. What can you say? I mean, you hear the Bad Street song, and I was like, I remember the Pro Wrestling Illustrated back in the '87.
When he had it, I mean, he had a chest that made Paul Stanley jealous.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
I remember the ads in those magazines for that Off the Streets album, and I was like, dude, I need to get this Off the Street album. That Bad Street song was pretty good.
Did you get it?
No, thank God. But no, I never got it. And you want to know what's so ironic? We've been talking about this since first part of the week about doing this episode. And all of a sudden today, on my Facebook. This shows how much they listen, they hear your discussions. Somebody posted on another group. Just found this at a flea market. The cassette, yes.
Yeah, I saw that post.
So I was like, wow, that's kind of ironic there. But yeah, the Off the Streets album from 1987, Michael Hayes records.
You talk about the banner year for cheese, 87, 88. I mean, that's just. I mean, yeah, Appetite for Destruction came out in 87, but I mean, it was this. I'll tell you, Stevie, this album. You know, the 15-year-old me in 1987, I would have dug this. I mean, like I kind of mentioned something. This wasn't the worst album I heard all week. We won't go there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't when you suggested it. I was like, are you freaking nuts, dude? But honestly, dude, of course, I love 80s Kiss and Poison and Warrant and stuff, but hell, this stuff's I mean, it wasn't bad. I kind of liked it.
I listened to it start to finish. I didn't stop.
Yeah, I listened to it a couple times. It's like, this isn't the worst thing I ever heard in my life. I think that was there was a band called Shooting Gallery that opened up for Kiss in the mid 90s in their club tour or the early 90s. That was probably the worst. But I would, I didn't think that. I mean, I'm kind of like, damn, why did I order that record, dude? I probably would have dug this, man. I mean, it's like what Leonard Skinner and the Doobies were doing about this time. I mean, it's that kind of, that's what it sounds like. It's that not quite heavy metal, but country rock. I mean, that's what a lot of it was to me.
You can still find it on eBay if you want to buy a copy of it.
I got it on YouTube. I'll just do it on that.
Well, that's what I listen to it on. So
it comes with real hair, real chest hair.
Oh my god.
That's like if you ever see a Kiss tribute band and the Paul Stanley doesn't have chest hair, don't watch him.
I've seen one Kiss tribute band. I've seen a few. One guy actually drew with marker black hairs.
Oh my gosh. There is as long as they didn't put the it had to be 92 song, I'm a Freebird. Now what was your excuse? You remember that song? Do you remember them coming out? They came out, him and Jimmy Garvin at it was one of the pay-per-views or something. They came out. Their outfits honestly looked like the tuxes from Dumb and Dumber. They had the headsets on.
Jimmy Garvin ended up being an airline pilot, right?
Yeah, he's an airline pilot.
I mean, that's you got to be pretty smart to do that shit.
Yeah, but they sang this god awful song called "I'm a Freebird." Now, what was
they never captured the same magic they did with Bad Street, dude. I mean,
either come out to Bad Street or come out to Freebird, and I'm sure they couldn't do Freebird because they
did Freebird. That was their first. That was their first theme song in world class.
That was when you could use anything.
But they were one of the first ones to use theme music. I mean, that was. I mean, he told Fritz that and I mean they didn't do that back then. So I mean, didn't like Gorgeous George or something come out to like something like that or. I mean, they had people that come out to it, but the Freebirds really like in world class. I mean, Kerry came out to Rush. Kevin came out to Stranglehold. I mean,
what did Junkyard come out to?
Another One Bites the Dust.
That's it, yeah.
And it's funny with that is you watch old WW stuff on the network. I mean, they have that all. They don't play Stranglehold. They don't play Rush, Tom Sawyer because they don't want to play the. They don't want to play the royalties.
Yeah, there was that. See, WCW, well, back when it was Crockett, they were thinking, oh, we could come out and they can come out to any song they want to, but somebody came up there that got in the front office and said, when are y'all where are y'all sending the royalties to? And they're like, what royalties?
What's that?
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pull up this I'm a Freebird and what was your excuse song so you guys can hear
I remember it. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's horrible. Hold on.
While you look for that, I'll tell a story about how I got to know Michael Hayes. I knew of the Freebirds, back in the day. But he hadn't wrestled for a while. The first time I saw Michael Hayes was when he came out at WrestleMania 17 in that Celebrity Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
And he came out and he started doing his moonwalk. And I said, that's the man who calls himself purely sexy. And he's coming down, doing a little eagle walk. That's how I first knew him.
My boss talks about a thing back in the mid 80s, back when kayfabe was still big. And they were at this place called Denim and Diamonds. It was like a country club here in San Antonio. I think WWE in the early 90s had a place there. But this big limo parked out. And this is like in the mid Freebird Von Erich's war. And Michael Hayes got out. And then he's like, hey, Kerry, you want a beer? And then Kerry Von Erich gets out. My boss is like, what the hell? You guys supposed to be enemies. I mean, he was just flabbergasted that it was. I mean, that was a big deal back then. But, I guess they figured there's a bunch of drunks there at the bar. They don't care. But my boss tells me that story, and he was like, what? Hey, what the hell? You guys are supposed to be enemies, supposed to be beating each other up. But I think that's why the feud was so great, is because they were such good friends.
Yeah. All right, here we go with this train wreck of a song here.
We're not going to get sued for this, are we?
No.
Okay.
Gentlemen, we need you away from the stage.
Oh my God, Jim.
Ouch.
I've heard enough of that, but
Leonard Skinner still plays at the rodeo here, so it kind of looks like that, I guess.
Actually, the band that played on this album, one of the guitar players for Leonard Skinner plays guitar on this. Ricky Medlock plays guitar on this and produces this album. So if
he admits that?
It's in the credits. I'll put it that way. So, all right. So what we're going to do here, there's 11 songs on this album. And each one of us is going to give from our worst to our favorite.
And you know what? If you ever want to donate to the less fortunate, for us having to listen to this, go ahead and do that. We should be able to raise a lot of money off this because, a lot of people, I'm okay with it because I'm old and I don't care. I like what I like. Hell, I bought the damn album for Don Johnson back in the day, Heartbeat. So, it's kind of hard for me to really, cast stones on this.
Well, they went through a phase back in the day where celebrities were putting out albums. Bruce Willis, Don Johnson, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson. Hello.
Michael Jackson, yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking of, what's his name? She wants to party all the time. Rick James.
James. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
All right. So, Pennachio, we're going to let you go with your the worst song. Yeah, y'all wanted to go worst to best. So
worst to best. So, look,
isn't that kind of one and the same?
The feel that I got from this album is a very Roadhouse feel of music. Like you just go to this rundown bar, you see this guy sing on the stage, like whatever.
Bunch of white people.
Yeah. Speaking of that, if you close your eyes, a lot of these songs, I swear, I thought, is this Michael McDonald?
Ouch! Ouch!
This has a Michael McDonald feel.
Dude, you lost me on that one. Michael McDonald's
McDonald's
Led Zeppelin compared to this, dude. Come on.
But Worden, you said earlier, this is the kind of stuff the Doobies were doing back in the day.
I know. But Michael McDonald wasn't with them, by the way. Just want to clarify.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, my doot. Number 11 is Heartbeat Away.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a couple of songs. It's like, I can't listen to it. But Heartbeat Away is just one of them.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do anything you want to talk about on that song because it's gonna come up in just
no. Yeah, We gotta talk about that, but we'll talk about that later. So just give your.
I'll talk about it later too. But my number 11 is is the leadoff song of the album. Everything is all right, and when when we started talking about doing this, everything is not all right. By the way, when we started talking about doing this, I told you guys it's on YouTube. You guys check it out on YouTube. There was a link. I gave y'all a link, and I started.
There is a full link to this album, guys. So you go check it out.
I was like, this is the album that I've seen all these ads for in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Rock and roll, Southern rock. I think of Southern rock. I'm thinking Leonard Skinner. I'm thinking Molly Hatchet. Among others, 38 Special. Everything is all right. Starts off, and I'm like, this is freaking like nightclub music right here. I was like,
it's the 80s.
First thing I said, who is this singing? Because I'm so used to hearing Bad Street, and he's got a different voice for different songs. You'll notice this all through it. His voice changes a lot through it depends on what the song is. Some of the lyrics, he says, honey, I'm home. And she responds back with, Michael, give me some. and then kind of unnecessary at the end with the whole nah. Start doing that at the end. I'm like, okay. So yeah, this is definitely my number 11 right here. Everything is all right. No, it's not all right. It's terrible at this point. So that's my number 11.
My number 11, and I thought that Dokken had bad production in the 80s. I gotta have it. It seems like a bad 80s band reject. And I'm not talking like, White Lion or Warrant. I'm talking like Nitro, the really bad stuff.
Oh,
The stuff that, yeah, Warren and White Lion are cheese, but I mean, Warren had a number 1 hit. Come on.
Yeah.
You can't give them too much shit. But this is it's bad. And if I had to pick a song on there that one song I didn't like, I got to have it. It's a bad 80s reject, man. It's horrible. It's the worst song on the album to me.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's going to
it
be further on my list. All right. Pennachio, number 10.
So it's like another Dokken feel as well, but it's like a very classic 80s song, the way it starts, and it's Touch My Level. Reach down, touch my level.
I always when I hear this song, I think about are they building a house or going to touch my level or what?
Oh, that's going to come up. Yeah, I'll get into that more later.
Yeah.
It's later.
I feel like the bottom half we're gonna have the same in different order, but
I don't know.
Oh man!
All right.
Yeah.
Number 10 for me, and it was your number 11, Pennachio.
Yep.
Heart Beat Away. It's definitely an 80s song. Like I said, the voice gets different again, and then he does this one line of it. It's like, stop, look left. Look right.
Yeah.
And the spoken word stuff, guys, I'm sorry, but he does it almost every song in here. He starts going, and all I hear is, he starts doing that spoken word stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, this is not good. Heartbeat Away. It's not as bad as Everything Is All Right, but it's close. It's a close second. So that's my Heartbeat Away is my number 10.
We've all been here, Stevie. We've all done this. Not so much now lately. I mean, Jack still got some years of it behind us. So the night you can't remember.
Oh God!
And if there's a song that you don't want to remember, is this one.
Oh yeah.
I was listening to this, and it's like it sounds little Leonard Skinner impression.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one thing that really pops in my mind when I hear this song is She Bop. Just the guitar part. It's It reminds me of Sheba.
Yeah, I can see
You know, and it's like, okay. But the night you can't remember, it's like, yeah, it's a Leonard Skinner thing, 80s Leonard Skinner. I can kind of see that. I see the rebel flag with the skull and the cigarette smoking. I mean, when I think of that song, I think of this, man.
Oh boy! All right, Pennachio.
So yeah, I think we're gonna start getting some duplicates here. This is where the idea for me that came that I thought this was Michael McDonald, and it's everything is all right. I can just picture him on the keyboard going, "Everything is all right." He makes like everything. Like the song, everything is all right. He makes that sound so sexy though.
I mean, if I'm going to start this album off, and I'm going to play this up, you got him, and that let's not even talk about the insert photo up there with him and the rebel flag. But yeah, if you're going to start an album off that's supposed to be Southern rock, hard rock, this is not the song to start it off with. I mean, I don't know what would be, but this is not the one. It's not Southern rock or hard rock to me at all. But yeah, everything is all right. We got to do. Me and Pennachio are about on the same page so far. But I promise you, I'm getting to one of yours in just a minute, Worden. Okay, my next one, Blue Jean Queen. Oh my Lord! Some of the lyrics, and this is what I got most out of it. This was what I lived for. Listen to this. Was deciphering some of the lyrics here. There are girls, and there are foxes. There are women, and ladies of the night. Each one, in their own way, can make you feel all right. Oh my God! This song, if this song came out today, every freaking group would be like, "Oh my God, this is so much against women." There are girls and there are foxes. Oh gosh, but yeah, and this is when he hits his different voice again. But yeah, Blue Jean Queen. What did he say? I'll take the one in blue jeans every time. Yeah. Okay, you have them, Michael. But yeah, that's my next one. Blue Jean Queen.
We obviously see things a lot different because, man, you have some of y'all bottom stuff and some of my top stuff. Just saying that.
Oh God, no wonder I could tell he's probably got Blue Jean Queen number one.
Pretty close.
Oh God.
My next one is there's no obvious. He's trying to be David Lee Roth in this. I mean, minus the chest hair. I mean, David Lee Roth has already moved on to Skyscrapers by him. But he wasn't doing the stuff that Michael Hayes is doing.
What are you talking about?
That's when the love comes down. All I got for the notes is this is David Lee Roth. He's trying to be David Lee Roth, I guess. You know, circa Panama, reach down between my legs.
He's all trying to be Michael P.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I mean, like David Lee Roth. I mean, Hayes is stuck in the '80s, man. I mean, that was their like when they peaked, and they haven't left. And neither one of them.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
All right, Pennachio.
Number 8. All right, so number 8 for me. Another duplicate in the bottom half of the list. It's I Gotta Have It. It's a very Rat kind of feel song. The kind of speed it goes.
Rat. Really?
Yeah, just it's the drumming sound, but I felt like a very Rat feel song. So, but I Gotta Have It. You know, we're going over to Rady, but Michael,
that was my last.
He's got to have it.
Yeah. Hey,
he's got to have it.
He's got to have it. Yeah, he's got to have it. All right. So this is going to be another duplicate for me. The next one, Worden, you had this earlier, and I totally agree. I'll go ahead and tell you guys from Blue Jean Queen up to about the number 3, they could interchange. I mean, they could be back and forth either way.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
Well, there's some not quite as bad. We'll put it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not quite as terrible.
Yeah. And so the night you can't remember. Yeah.
She bop, ye bop, ye bop.
Spoken word stuff again. And then I don't he's sitting there talking. He's mumbling something, and all of a sudden you hear him say, I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the money?
The chorus, part of the chorus is you fell down, you kicked my car and then fell down 6 times. I'm like, where did you guys come up with these lyrics? You kicked my, and it's over and over again. You got to hear.
You think Jack Daniels was involved in the writing of this album,
Jack Daniels, maybe a little something else.
I hope. It's funny. I hope.
You kicked my car and fell down 6 times, but and then he said later on, when he gets later on, I found out later you got sick in my car. I'm like, oh my gosh, what were you guys? This is some writing genius here. It's a good thing he works creative with wrestling and doesn't write the lyrics.
Well, maybe this is why he's still working today, because he's trying to pay this shit off.
Well, I can't imagine
he still owes so much money for putting this debacle out.
I can't imagine he's getting many kickbacks from off the streets. Royalties coming in from there.
Yeah, you think artists are ripped off by Spotify now? Imagine this album. He's probably got to pay them to put it
on Spotify.
I know, that's what sucks about it.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he made a little bit of money off that guy buying the cassette somehow, and us. I don't know.
That guy, that one guy, that one guy buying the cassette.
Yeah, us listening to it on YouTube. So yeah, that's my next one is Night You Can't Remember.
Mine's another one. One of Jack's is Touch My Level. You hear that intro guitar part and you think it has some promise because it totally rips off Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Something off Mean Streets, that guitar. But it's like Jack said earlier too, this is something on Roadhouse. Is this Jeff Healey singing this song? That's what it got me. And, as we go up, it seems to get being a little bit better, but I could see this being on Roadhouse. Jeff Healey,
yes.
Rest in peace. Man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that it's not the worst song. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
No, it's not worse. It's actually
bad title, but Touch My Level is like Love Is Sweet, So Insane. Come on,
Yeah. Alrighty. So number 7 for me. Number 7 is, we all know the song. It's a cover. He made it his own, which is great. I do like this song, and it's The Boys Are Back in Town.
You heard it right there, deep.
It's good. It's a good version of it. He didn't go along the lines of Thin Lizzy. He made it his own. It's different. I like it.
It's different. Yeah.
It's very different. He went dude all the way on that one.
I'll talk about that in a minute. So I think Warden's had this one. When the Love Comes Down.
Oh, you guys got this song so bad.
I could deal with this one. I'm like Warden. That the guitar is good. But the scream at the end of the guitar solo.
He's trying to be raw.
Yeah. He sounds like somebody's. And then he keeps saying, I don't know where they're going with this. This is one of those lyrics. When you lose, you win. He keeps saying that over and over again.
Well, has Paul Stanley got a writing credit on this one too?
I guess. I don't know what he's talking about when you lose, you win in a song when the love comes down.
You got to lose to know how to win. Come on, dream on, Cherry. Dream on, Stevie.
He just went. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't use "Dream On" in this song too. He robbed all these other lyrics. But yeah, when the love comes down, that's my what is that? My number 7.
Yeah.
Well, I got a tie with. Oh, sorry.
You can't have a tie on this one.
I got a tie with Jack. Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah.
I remember when this came out, horrible song. The original and any version of the song is horrible. Bon Jovi, everybody, my opinion.
You like Bon Jovi's?
I don't like this song. I remember this video in Mid-South, and what I remember in the video is Dark Journey slapping his ass. Dark Journey. Let's take a moment of silence for Dark Journey. Gosh,
she ended up being Tully Blanchard's valet for a little while.
Yeah, but she was in Mid-South before.
Yeah, with the
you got to give Michael Hayes credit because he was one of the first. I think he was even before Ventura, one of the color commentators. He was one of the first ones to do color commentary because he was still an active wrestler.
Yeah.
With Ross when he was wrestling, and I think Missy Hyatt took over after him. But yeah, I mean, Michael Hayes, like I said, man, he was ahead of his time, but he's stuck in that time.
Very.
Yep. Boys are back in town.
All right.
So up to my number 6, nearly halfway through. All right.
Are you upset about that, Jack?
Over, guys. It's almost.
Are you upset we're halfway through? Do you want to do 20 more of these songs?
Should do all these albums after this. His whole catalog, his whole box set.
Has he got more?
He'll bring a box set out because we're talking about his albums.
Yeah, them boys want to talk about it. I'll show them.
Yeah, we've gone through it already. I hate this song, but I love it, and it's Blue Jean Queen.
You hate this song, but it didn't make your number 11?
No, because it's so catchy, and you hear it, and you start bopping head. She's my Blue Jean Queen. Oh, damn it, Michael, why?
Y'all go right ahead.
Yeah. It's one of those, Sonny Pooney would say, is one of those earworm songs.
No, Sonny Pooney would probably like this one.
Baruto.
Nah.
I mean,
Touch My Level is brutal.
Is Heat going to be doing a cover of this pretty soon?
Probably. So
Heat
so
7.
You got Blue Jean Queen.
This is better than anything Heat ever did. Just saying. Heat is awful.
I like Heat.
I'm sorry.
Heat's not bad. I mean, Heat would have been
not good either.
Heat would have been really good in the mid '80s. They would have.
So would this have been? This have been great in the mid '80s, dude.
There's not a decade this has been good.
Dude, this is better than anything Heat ever did, dude. Heat is awful.
Okay. All right then. All right. So this one, I think, both of you had Touch My Level. Oh, yeah. It's the intro reminds me when the guitar intro reminds me of it's Leonard Skinnerty and That Smell. Reminds me more of Van Halen. It sounds Leonard Skinner, That Smell to me. Chorus is not good. The chorus is horrible. I mean, Touch My and what the hell is his level? That's what we want to know. What the hell is his level? I got a feeling, but I
guess it's above our heads.
Dude. I don't think I want to know what his level is. But Touch My Level is number 6. 6 for me.
Number 6 for me. All I can say is there's a band in the late 80s. They became country. They were more disco in the 70s, but they became more country in the 80s. And that's a band called Exile.
I want to kiss you all over.
Heartbeat Away is definitely Exile. I mean, that just sounds like Exile could have done this song. And if you don't know who Exile is, Kiss Me All Over, Jack.
Yep, I know them.
Oh, easy now.
And they did a song called She's a Miracle, which is a great song. But Heartbeat Away, that is just Exile. He sounds like the guy from Exile. I mean, if you put this on the radio saying this is Exile, people would believe you. People would believe you.
No, good point. I can hear that. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We're getting in the top. The top 5, I guess.
Top 5. So this is my top 5 is solid, and I like my top 5. And this song is good because it's another catchy song. It's very slow, then it builds up. Very 80s. Like you can see him singing in front of 10 people. This song.
10 people.
It's
10 people.
When you go see like an opening band in a festival, there's like 5 people there. But he's giving it all and he's shouting to the microphone.
A lot of bands that were big in the 80s that are playing in front of 10 people now.
Yeah. And that is You Made Me the Way I Am.
Oh.
You. You can tell he's going to hold the microphone to the crowd. Made me the way I am. This is his rock and roll song of this album, I feel.
Buddy Roberts. I'll have to agree with you there. My number 5 is You Made Me the Way I Am.
Yep.
What hold on. I guess it's the closest thing you're going to get to like a ballad for him. Melody is okay. It's catchy. So yeah, that's really what got it to the top 5 for me. The melody was better than I thought. So all right, POS.
My number 5 reminds me of a bad 80s sitcom that got canceled. It got picked up. God. Like the everything's starting up the back when the 80s, back when they used to have like intros for songs and stuff.
Yes.
And it's catchy. I think Jack mentioned being catchy. Blue Jean Queen. Did he mention being Jackie, or I'm just drunk?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but Blue Jean Queen. It reminded me of Kid Rock's got a song called Blue Jeans and a Rosary. It's not as good as the Kid Rock song, but it kind of reminds me of that. It kind of reminds me of a Leonard Skinner feel to it.
Yep.
It's got a little bit more horns. I think Skinner was more into it. The Doobies and maybe the Allman Brothers had more horns.
That is one thing.
This isn't as good. Huh?
That is one thing this album has a lot of. It's horns.
Yeah, it reminds me of kind of like later David Lee Roth, not so much Skyscraper, but Eat 'em and Smile. Not Eat 'em and Smile. A Little Ain't Enough. He had a lot of big band horns that kind of reminds me of something like maybe a reject of David Lee Roth's last album with Jason Becker.
Yep. A good one. See, Blue Jean Queen's good.
It's not bad. It's not the worst.
It's no level.
Level. It's no everything is all right. That's for sure.
Everything's all right. Okay. My number 4. This hasn't been said yet, which is good. Now this I feel has the biggest Roadhouse feel. Like you can just picture Patrick Swayze just kicking someone's ass. Terry Funk as well, because he's in the movie too.
And
slamming someone on the table.
That blonde chick that was getting banged in the back. Oh yeah, she's hot.
He's on break. He's allowed. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you think of Patrick Swayze just smashed someone through the table, and then the band just kicks in with
Sam Elliott. Don't forget Sam Elliott.
Yep, Sam Elliott.
Ain't Superstitious is my number 4. Very, very Roadhouse song.
What did I have? Why isn't that on my list?
Oh, Stevie looks confused.
Stevie can't count like I did last couple weeks ago.
Ain't superstitious.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right. That was a little higher on my list.
Oh.
Yeah. So the next one up, both of you guys already talked about it. Boys Are Back in Town. Thin Lizzy cover. And like you said, he made it his own. It's a little slower to me. It feels like it's a little slower than the Thin Lizzy one is, but he made it his own. It's okay. It's better than the other ones that's on my list. So Process of Elimination, I think, on that one. But yeah, Boys Are Back in Town, number 4 for me.
Mine is a repeat. You Made Me the Way I Am. It's fun, mid-tempo. I see a mid-tempo band doing this, kind of like a, 80s Skinner or, something like that, and, Doobie Brothers didn't really have Michael McDonald in the 80s because he went solo, but I can kind of see like, one of those Southern rock bands doing this. I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
right. Number 3. When I first heard this song, I thought it was going to be a cover of AC/DC Whole Lot of Rosie by the way it starts.
Oh yeah.
The whole do-do-do-do-do-do. I was like, oh cool, this is gonna be really good. But it wasn't, but it was When the Love Comes Down.
Gosh. Ooh.
David Lee Roth. That's all I got to say.
You keep talking about David Lee Roth. He was in diapers when I was like there wrestling, boy.
Oh, bullshit. David Lee Roth preceded Hayes. Come on.
All right, so we're on number 3. So I think Worden had this last, so I gotta have it. Yeah, the drums. I like the drums in here because it starts off. The drums are okay. The chorus is catchy. It's. I mean, and then here he comes with the spoken word again, though.
I gotta have it. Could have been off it. I gotta have it. Could have been off this album.
Yeah, but that's my number 3. There is I gotta have it.
My number 3 is. I was listening to this, and listen to this. This is one of the biggest ripoffs he's did. Ain't Superstitious. There's a old black blues player named Willie Dixon that did a song called Ain't Superstitious. Rod Stewart did it with the Jeff Beck back in the day. And he captures some of it in there. He takes some of the lyrics, like a black cat crossed my path. That is off the Willie Dixon album. But this reminds me of something George Thorogood would do, because George Thorogood had a real history of like taking blues classics and making them his own. But we all remember George Thorogood because he did Bad to the Bone, which was Gino Hernandez's song. But Ain't Superstitious. I looked for information on this. He changed some of the words up there. It's not quite a cover, but it does rip off the I Ain't Superstitious that Willie Dixon did. I think Howlin' Wolf did, and Rod Stewart covered. A lot of them did that back then. So this is pretty high for me. I kind of like this because I like that it shows that he took a classic and kind of rewrote it himself. I mean, if he did that today, he'd probably get sued because, it totally rips off Willie Dixon. But, Willie Dixon really ain't around anymore to, sue him. So, but it's a
good comparison too with George Thorogood.
Well, I heard this song and I was like, wow, it's like I remember the Rod Stewart version because when he was with Jeff Beck, and then it's like, yeah, I can see George Thorogood doing this. So,
All right.
Top 2 now, it's getting close. I think our number 1 is going to be close. We all might have the same.
I think we're all having the same.
I think we're all going to wrong.
Yeah.
If we aren't, then something's wrong with you guys.
Number 1.
No, this is
number 1, number 2, dude.
Nah, number 2. Number 2 is a song where I can picture it being in like a 80s, 90s movies where kids go out drinking and then they get home.
Back when kids used to be able to drink.
Yeah. And then they come home early in the morning and you're trying to remember what's happening. And it's the night you can't remember. Just a very good, something like you see on Days of Confused, like the day after. They're just going out.
She-bop, baby. She-bop.
And they just play it in the background while they're just talking about whatever.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
But this towards the end of the last song we'll pick at the end, it's a very good. You can put this album on in your house and just let it go with whatever.
You could? No, I could.
Yeah. I will. I'll do it again. I'll be listening again.
Maybe
do.
You put that on, playing that over and over again, the freaking rooster's gonna go insane.
Hey, yeah, where's the rooster? I haven't heard from you tonight.
Where's the rooster?
They're still here. They're still here.
Oh yeah,
he knows it, man. He had some fried chicken today, and we all know what happened, dude. Whatever.
All right, number 2 for me. Worden just talked about it. I ain't superstitious. Didn't realize it was he had changed the words to a song. But yeah. Every bad luck cliche he included in the song about walking under the ladder and break up. Tell me what this has got to do with not being superstitious. Got no letters, got no mail. He said that over and over and over again. Got no letters, got no mail. I'm like, what the heck? What's that got to do with it? It
was the 80s. Cocaine was rampant. Who knows?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's all that Rick James said. But yeah, number 2 for me is I Ain't Superstitious. And it's not the Europe song.
You guys are a bunch of haters.
Uh-oh.
Everything Is All Right is a fucking great song, dude. It is one of the best songs on this one. It's a nice intro, comes in, totally reminds me of Exile. I mean, I guess I like Exile, but I remember you guys talking about Everything Is All Right. Man, that's a cool song. It just starts it and everything. I mean, that's a great song. It's
I
not
was
the
a bit
worst song on
worried,
this
man.
album.
Jason didn't bring it up for ages. I'm like, no, he didn't. He didn't.
Yes, Everything Is All Right is a cool song. It reminds me of Exile. This could have been the B-side or a single off, Kiss You All Over, or, She's a Miracle. Just a cool little, I listen to this album. That's the first song that kicks off. I go, this may not be so bad. Then I got to have it, and I was like, oh shit, this is horrible.
I gotta have it.
Not the song I want leading up this album. I'm sorry.
I like it.
No, it's like I said, a lot of these
It
songs
wasn't the worst.
everywhere.
It wasn't the
Yeah.
worst. I mean, none of them are Stairway to Heaven, so come on.
All right. So that means pretty much all of us have.
I think we can all say that at the count of three what our number one is.
That's
I think
the only right answer.
Yeah. So I think our number one. I think if we all count down, 3, 2, 1.
Bad
Street.
Street USA. So,
Yeah.
All I can say about this song is that if you ever knew how much a producer means to an album, this song is a highly example because the production is so bad that the guitar player, I mean, the guitar is a great riff, but it's just not, it's not fat enough, I guess. It's just very weak. I mean, it reminds me of, I give Dawkins a bunch of crap, but there's some Dawkins songs that could have been so much better if the production was better. I mean, it just, and Justice for All, it's paper thin drums, but Bad Street USA, one of the most iconic songs. He was the OG of doing his own song. He saw this shit coming. That guitar, that's a badass song. And, and then when I heard, that's how I said this story before, how I got into Iron Man and Sabbath, is because he was talking when they were going against the Road Warriors. Like, you think Iron Man's a badass song? Check out Bad Street USA. And I remember Bad Street USA thinking it was nice and heavy. I mean, it's got that heavy thing that, Iron Man, but Iron Man has so much better production. That's the only thing I take away from this song is the production is real paper thin. It's just not great.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? The first time I heard that, when they came out to it, I was like, holy crap. I mean, this is a pretty good. I didn't like the, well, they were baby faces when they came to WCW or NWA at the time. But I heard so much about them. And then when you see it,
the video.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, that freaking house. And you see Michael Hayes. you see him come out the door, chest hair out, going, arr, arr. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, geez, dude.
I mean, it's like, is Paul Stanley, Who Wants to Be Lonely, busy or what? Come on.
Where is Terry Gordy when we need him? And then,
he was singing there at the end.
Yeah, the end, but he needed to be there at the first of it too. With these guys, the further down the block you know, the better it got. Yeah, I mean, actually,
when I heard it, I dug it. I loved it.
I loved it from the start.
The guitar is heavy as fuck, man. It's great.
I want to know
the sound of the song, the way it goes, the music. It suits the way the Freebirds walk to the ring. It just worked.
I mean,
so
it's cheesy as hell, but man, I mean, it is. I mean, for that time when I don't know when you heard it for Stevie. When I heard it, I was like, man, this is fucking heavy, dude. I love this.
Did they ever play it on the radio?
I don't remember the radio. I just
don't know. I imagine if it got on radio, it'll have to be around wherever they were at the time.
But the guitar and the solo, I mean, that would shit. That's great. Dude. I mean, that you can see Beavis and Butthead doing that. That. I mean,
but it's like what Ace says. Ace does solos that you can sing. You can sing this solo of this song.
Yeah. I agree.
You can hear it. You can just walk around and air guitar to it. So
yeah, that's Ricky Medlock doing the guitar solo. Some of the comments under I went on discogs.com and looked at some, and some of the comments were, "I didn't know Dog the Bounty Hunter was in a band."
Yeah.
If you were a fan of professional wrestling in the 1980s, you need this record. It is right up there with Terry Funk's masterpiece, Great Texan, Essential Listening. I don't know, Worden. I know. I saw that look, and I was wondering the same
I
thing.
don't remember that.
Hold on. I'm going to see if it's up here on YouTube. Terry Funk, Great Texan. Oh my gosh.
You got it?
That might be an episode in the future. Terry Funk, Great Texan, full LP. Hold
Does
on.
Dory sing on it?
I would see how many songs is on this. Oh my God. Okay, here's let's go over the song list here. Great Texan, Touch Your Heart, which has got the Sayonara Boku Lene. We Like to Rock. Change Your Mind. This has got to be my favorite already. This next one. Barbara Streisand's Nose.
What the hell?
Rapunji. I guess I'm saying that right. We Hate School. And then the last one, the theme from Terry Funk.
What year did this come out?
That's like going from like Terry Funk's first year of wrestling to the very end, and how pissed off he started to get. And he went back to New Japan. He came back. He went back to New Japan again.
I'm gonna see.
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I like Terry Funk from the old days, but that whole hardcore thing, I never got into that.
You never liked Chainsaw Charlie?
I never liked hardcore stuff. I don't see the point. I don't like seeing somebody get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This was if what I'm seeing is right, 1984.
Wow. Before this.
He predated Hayes. Wow.
It looks like what I'm seeing it looks like a Japanese release. There's a lot of Japanese guys that are they're all Japanese guys doing the instruments. You got bass saxophone. Ooh, this has got saxophone in it. We're gonna have to,
I don't know. I think we need to do something more meaningful next time.
Yeah,
before we do
this won't be the next episode.
Thank you.
The genre is jazz, rock, funk, soul, pop. So a little bit of
funk.
everything.
I get the funk thing though.
Yeah. Style, city pop, funk, AOR, boogie, fusion. Oh my Lord. Yeah. This may be a couple months down the road, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give us a couple months to listen to this thing.
We'll have to do Ricky Morton's Boogie Woogie Dance Hall too. So well, yeah. So that's it for this Off the Streets album. We hope if you guys want to check it out, it is on YouTube and it's
your funeral.
Yeah. Just stay away from I'm a Freebird and What Was Your Excuse. But this album,
it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I'll give it that.
No, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard. No,
I think now I think about the 15-year-old, in 1987 going, hell, I probably would have enjoyed this. I mean, hello, I was listening to Let's Put the X in Sex. I mean, come on.
Hey, come on. You can't compare.
Come on, dude.
Come on, no. But anyway,
I mean, it's how people say cheese is. I mean, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I went to bed too late and got up too soon. That's just.
It has definitely been an entertaining episode. I'll put it that way.
It was fun. It was fun. I just enjoy Bad Street. That's if you talk about what is your was that what was that thing called when you like something that nobody else likes? What's it called? I don't know. Like when you like something that it's like, what is that? It's like you like something that it's not normal to like it. I don't know how
I don't know what I know what you mean, but I don't know the term for it.
Yeah, it's like what it's like Cheese Fest. It's like I put Bad Street up there with Heartbeat by Don Johnson. I mean, it's just I mean, I just love that. So
this was definitely entertaining to say.
It was good. It was different, very different.
Yeah. So I think we had a blast with this. So what do we call our little
The 3 count?
The 3 count. Yeah, we'll do our 3 count. We'll start off with you, Worden.
I just finished Ted Templeton's book, and you talk about the you talk about the somebody, a producer, being very needed. He did, of course, 1984. He didn't do 5150. He did Eat 'Em and Smile, which is David Roth's masterpiece. But I learned something that he did Done with Mirrors by Aerosmith, which was great. And he was lined up to do Permanent Vacation. But David Lee Roth kept him on, like, oh, yeah, I want you to do this. But he didn't end up doing Skyscraper. So you can definitely tell that Skyscraper would have been a lot better with David Lee, with Ted Templeton doing it. But he discovered the Doobie Brothers. One thing I didn't learn is about that I'll Wait was a co-written by Michael McDonald. They couldn't get it quite right. And Michael McDonald came in and, kept, and you can kind of see that too. But he did the Doobie Brothers, Allman Brothers. He's done Van Morrison.
Yeah, right.
If you like the history of David Lee Roth, I like the history of Van Halen and stuff. Yeah, check it out. Ted Templeton. I mean, the boy's 81 years old. He's up there with like what Eddie Kramer is. So he's been around a while. And my second one, I finished Lex Luger's book. I don't know if I talked about this before, but
you told me about it, but you hadn't talked about it on here.
Yeah, it was a very interesting book. He doesn't seem to take the blame for a lot of the stuff with Elizabeth. He pretty much says, well, she's an adult. She could have done her own thing. I thought that was a little cold-blooded myself. But I get what he's saying.
Was this written recently for him to say that?
Probably about 2013.
Okay, he was changed by then. Okay,
interesting.
Yeah,
he was, but it gets a little preachy at the end. And I get it. It's kind of like when I read Ted DiBiase's book. I mean, I get it. That's what you want, but
yes,
I mean, I get it. But I mean, it's a good book. I mean, it talks about, how he pissed off Nick Saban. I mean, if you like wrestling, I mean, Lex Luger could have been a pro football player before, but I mean, he was always more of an individual star. It seems to be passing the buck to a lot of like, oh, I was there, but they made their decision. He doesn't seem to own up for a lot of it. And I mean, it was good. He was one of my favorites, but it tells a lot. And the most recent one, I'm kind of doing a throwback, especially with Peacock. I've been watching the $6 Million Man. The $6 Million Man with Lee Majors.
Yeah.
That was my show growing up. It's on Peacock now, and I'm going back and watching it.
I have to go back and watch that too.
Yeah, it's got the pilot before, like, Oscar Goldman wasn't even on it, but it shows like how he crashed and everything. And that crash scene that shows in the intro is actually an astronaut that, he survived, but it crashed.
It's a real crash.
It's a real crash, but it's pretty cool. I mean, that's a sequel. That's a new movie thing that could be rebooted. It could almost be like a James Bond thing. I have seen the Fall Guy reboot. It looks horrible.
Yeah.
I've seen the Roadhouse thing. It looks horrible.
I'm not even touching that.
Just some things you shouldn't touch. And
is the Roadhouse a TV show or a movie?
No, it's a movie with Ron Reynolds. He also it's with Jake Gyllenhaal, actually.
Jake Gyllenhaal and that UFC guy. What's his name?
And Ron Reynolds not Ron Reynolds. Ryan Gosling plays the Fall Guy, which it's got Emily Blunt in it, so it may save it for me because she's one of my favorites.
Oh, good. I saw a couple of previews of Roadhouse. I'm like, nah.
There's just some stuff you shouldn't touch,
Can't.
I heard some rumor that they're making The Godfather again. It's like, no.
You don't. Look.
Yeah. They've been talking about that for years. It's too late. It's what?
Stop.
Exactly.
Some of these movies you really don't need to touch. I mean,
I'd give you one thing if you guys haven't seen it: Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah,
it's a remake of the 1954 movie with Raymond Burr about the first Godzilla. That is great.
Wow,
because
okay.
it was made in Japan. It's a Japanese standpoint. That's a good one if you haven't seen it.
Good 3 count.
Kind of 4, but oh well.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
Who used to do the 5 count pin? There was a wrestler. He goes, "Nah,
Oh,
count it to 5."
King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
Bundy, yep.
Bald is beautiful.
Count him. You count to 5. You won't get up.
Yeah, he
All
pinned
right.
Hogan one time and won in 5, and they didn't give him the title, which is kind of stupid.
Well, that was his own fault. He should have just said, "Just give me 3." All right.
Give me 3 steps.
Pennachio.
So my 3 count. Mine's 2 movies, and so recently I went to New Zealand for a wedding, and just want to promote New Zealand.
Shooting ski. I saw that.
Yeah, I went at the wedding. You could ski shoot. It was a golf driving range where you're never going to get the ball back because we're right at the end of the North Island, so you shoot into the ocean.
Nice.
They had knife throwing and axe throwing, but look, anyone who loves adventure sports, hiking, outdoor, anything, hands down, New Zealand is the place to go. Give yourself a good 2 weeks, a week in the North, a week in the South Island.
You said hiking, so I'm already out.
There's hiking. Every turn off is a hiking place. But no, it's a very great place to go. Everyone's friendly. It's laid back. It's there's just so much to do in New Zealand. Like, I was only there for about a week and a bit, but I could have spent an easy 2-3 weeks there.
Nice.
So promoting New Zealand. TV show I've been watching, Love on the Spectrum. Season 2 came out recently. It's a dating TV series where they get people with autism who
Oh, yeah.
want to find love. So season 2 came out. There's a lot of
Hey, maybe if I get on, I'll have a chance.
That's it. A lot of the old characters are coming back, so it's good. It's a very wholesome show. You laugh, you smile in a good way, and you feel sad too. But one of the greatest movies ever made. No, I won't say that. American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story.
Oh yeah.
It's got Zachary Levi, I believe you say his name is. He plays Kurt Warner. It's about how he kept trying to make the NFL. He went to the Arena Football League. Him working at the supermarket again. Dennis Quaid plays the coach as well, Coach Dick.
Oh, right.
It's very
playoffs.
short.
Not the same guy. Oh, that's playoffs.
No, he don't play. That's not the same one.
Very short. Like they show his very
Big Mills
first
one
game.
always cried. That's right.
Yeah, they show his first game when he played for the Rams, and then they show the Super Bowl win, and then it's go through a brief history. So it's not like a 20-year crammed into 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's purely his NFL winning year.
Nice.
No, hands if you're a football fan, you don't even have to be a Rams fan. It's just a nice football movie, and that's my 3 count.
All right. So my 3 count. First thing, I started. I was sitting here the other night, didn't have much, kind of bored, looking through stuff. I said, you know what? This is something I haven't watched in a while. I'm gonna start from the beginning and try to watch however many seasons it is now. I just got to be close to 30, if not over that now. The Simpsons. Started watching from the first episode, and
I started when I was in high school. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. I was in high school. But yeah, I started watching that a little bit. Got through. I'm just about through season 1, so forgot how funny some of the stuff was on there. It's some classic.
Predict the future too, don't they? A lot.
Yes, they predict the future.
I remember when we started watching that. I remember like when that first came out, Bart Simpson was kind of at our age, and stuff like Bart was the right guy. Now we're older. It's Homer. It's Homer.
Yeah, he hasn't aged any. I don't think so. I want to. Are we going through? Is every episode like a day? So because he hasn't, and Maggie hasn't aged either. So she's still
Homer's the man now. Homer's the man now. I identify.
Yeah,
it used to be Bart. Now it's Homer.
So Number 2, I watched on Netflix. Being a big fan of music, but going back to the 80s and stuff like that. This documentary that came out was right up my alley. They did a documentary on We Are the World. The whole it was really good. Some stuff I didn't know on there. That one of them was kind of funny. I kept seeing Waylon Jennings in the crowd when they were doing the rehearsals and stuff, and I was like, I don't remember Waylon Jennings being in the picture or anything up there, and I found out why. In the middle of all this, now they kept talking about Lionel Richie. Gosh knows this guy worked his butt off. I mean, worked his butt off all night to get people there
all night
long to keep people. He had just hosted one of the music awards that night.
They got that together because it was like the American Music Awards or something like that.
Yeah. So he's trying to keep the peace with people because there's so many egos there.
Prince.
And well, that's another story.
I know.
But Waylon, they get in the middle of all this, and I mean, because you think about it, they got there 10:30, 11 o'clock, maybe something like that, and they're working all night, so they've been there a while, and all of a sudden, Stevie Wonder decides, if we're going to do this, we need to do a verse in Swahili, and they're going over this, and you see Waylon Jennings say, you know what? I'll do a lot of things, but this boy ain't gonna do no Swahili or something like that. And he walks out and leaves. So that's why. Yeah, he just left. Got up and left. Didn't say anything to anybody. Just left. But yeah, the whole Prince thing when they were trying to get him there, they were kind of using Sheila E. to get him there, telling her that she was going to get to sing, and she didn't. But yeah, it was great. I mean, you saw a lot of things and learned a lot of things about it you didn't know, and it was great to see how hard it was for them to put it all together and how hard they worked between, you have Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie working on this thing, and how they threw the song together so quick. I mean, not really threw it together, but they kept talking about, well, we got to this day, we got plenty of time. Then all of a sudden, no, we need it now, and then they started working and they cranked it out just like that. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that to anybody. Then Warden's not going to like this one. So today I listened to Ace Frehley, 10,000 Volts. What can you say? It starts off slow. It really does. And I get what you say about your drawbacks of it, Warden. But
but we talked about this on the other show. I'm just not an Ace guy. I mean, I mean, there's nothing against it. He's an acquired taste and a lot of people love him. And, he was great in Kiss, but just solo, it doesn't appeal to me. But I get I get the love for it,
The first half of it, like maybe the first 3 or 4 songs, not that strong, still good, but not that strong. But the last half of it kicks ass.
Is there an instrumental?
Yes.
Did you do a Fracture again?
It's called Stratosphere.
Okay.
That's probably the best vocals on it, right?
I'll give you that one. That was
good one. But yeah, I'm not a big fan. Of course, Fracture Mirror I like that instrumental. But I'm not a big fan of instrumentals that much. There's a few of them that I'll listen to, like Escape from the Island. I love that. But this one,
the only good song on The Elder.
Is there a cover?
Stratosphere is not bad at all. I don't.
Yeah, is there a cover? And that's like unlike Ace not have a cover.
I mean, because he's saving all those for Origins 3.
God.
Yeah.
That's happening, right? That is going to happen. But yeah, you got 10,000 Volts. You got Walking on the Moon, Cosmic Heart, Cherry Medicine, Back into My Arms Again, Fighting for Life, Blinded, Constantly Cute, Life of a Stranger, Up in the Sky, and Stratosphere. So you got 11 songs, and
not bad.
I thought it was good. I mean, I'm gonna listen to it again. I would listen to it again, and some of the other songs that I didn't think were strong may catch my ear or something like that. But I thought it was a good, solid effort for me. As far as being as good as the 78 solo album? No. But it's probably the best thing I've heard since Trouble Walking.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the other ones like Anomaly and Space Invader and whatever other space thing he did, it's a lot better than any of those. I'll go with that. But that's my 3 count there.
Nice.
So guys, that's going to do it for our triple threat main event, which has been probably the most entertaining one we've had so far. I think this is number 5, but wow. Michael Hayes, sorry, bud, if we make you mad, but you definitely entertained us, and nothing against the album. We've got.
If I find it, if I find it, I'm buying it.
If I could find it, a little at a good price, I would probably buy it.
Yep.
Just to have for
that nostalgia feel,
Yeah. I don't think I'd like the insert photo, but we'll do that.
I'll won't buy it. I'll just stream it. So
yeah. Any last words from you guys?
We're on the road to WrestleMania. Keep watching because this whole Cody Rock Roman is going to kick off. So we've got 5 weeks to go. So
5 weeks. Well, 6 actually. 6 from today.
Yep.
There's 42 days. So a 2-night event where we get ready for WrestleMania. What about you, Ward?
No, I'm just my favorite thought about WrestleMania is the Hall of Fame. I love the Hall of Fame. I just like watching the old guys.
They haven't announced one yet, have they?
No.
No. Okay.
They haven't. So I don't know. There's a lot of guys that should be in there, like Ivan Koloff. But I mean,
I heard one rumor.
It's like anything else. I mean, it's just like, somebody got on. So I made some kind of comment on Mitch LaFon's page about how Ozzy's going into the Hall of Fame. He got nominated. And I was like, well, there's a lot of bands like, Foreigner that aren't in there now. Then I had like 10 people. Well, that's, is it the Hall of Fame of the great or Hall of Fame of the just okay? And I'm like, well, what's your opinion of just okay? I mean, I think Foreigner's great, but, I mean, they obviously sold a lot of albums. They have a lot of people there. And to me, Hall of Fames are just a glorified museum. I think, especially like the Baseball Hall of Fame, when they get to like, oh, you can't be in there or whatever. I mean, Pete Rose bet on baseball, against and for on his team, but he still had those records. It's like OJ when they took his Heisman out. He didn't kill anybody on the football field. He still, they people overvalue a lot of Hall of Fames. It's just a freaking museum. So get over yourself. There's a lot of people. Yeah, I know they don't have one, but
they don't have a physical, yeah.
But I love the fact. I mean, it sucks that Savage didn't go on to after he died. Different ones, but I mean, that's what I look forward to. The ones that are still alive that give the speeches. I think like Stan Hansen gave one a few years ago, and I never knew that much about him. I just knew, but dude was really articulate. He talked a lot. It was great.
Yeah.
Stan Hansen's a smart dude.
Yeah, I know. He seems like a real brawler. That's all he is. But no,
he
the
plays that part well. I'll tell you this. You talked about Ivan Koloff.
Yeah.
And this was, matter of fact, I'm looking at the poster for it now. I'm not sure what year that was. The first Rage Warriors event, Ivan Koloff was there. And this was on his birthday. Actually, that day we sang happy birthday to him. And it was, I think that was his last, it may have been his last birthday.
Should have been it.
And I asked him about that, about the Hall of Fame. And he's like, well, I'll tell you this. If I don't get in this time, then me and that young McMahon, he called him the young McMahon. We're going to have a little talk. And
well, he's a former WWF, WWF, or whatever they call him, champion.
I mean, he ended probably the longest reign in championship history there. He ended Bruno's reign. And it's not like that was a fluke thing. He goes on to win multiple.
Well, look how long it took him to bring in Bruno. I mean, God, it's after you're gone and dead. I mean, it doesn't really do you much good. I mean, he deserved better, I think.
The whole reason Bruno got in? Guess who got him? Who worked on that?
Triple H. Yeah, Triple H.
Yeah. Triple H did that.
Because
But
Bruno,
That's why they reckon
remember-
he'll bring in China sooner or later as a solo wrestler, a single
Yes.
wrestler. Sorry.
You think with Triple H's background?
I don't know if that's going to come anytime soon because with the whole McMahon thing, that she's
Yeah.
another person that I don't know. I don't know how.
But like
long
you said,
people-
you put them in for what they've done in that ring.
yeah.
Who
it's true.
cares if she made pornos or did Playboy? So did Sable. So did Tori Wilson.
Well, they did her wrong though. They did China wrong. I mean, it's
Oh, God,
she
yeah.
didn't because China was still pretty hot and pretty like on top when they got rid of her. I mean,
Yeah.
but
She came back to TNA for a bit.
Yeah. Speaking of Hall of Fame snubs, why is it Demolition in the Hall of Fame?
Because what they look like.
because they're a Road Warriors ripoff band.
That's
It's like,
why.
But
Johnny Ace will allow that.
WWE, Johnny Ace doesn't have anything.
Johnny Ace is gone. Johnny Ace better.
No,
Johnny
that's
Ace
what I'm
better-
saying. He will said, no, they look too much like my brother.
But they
I don't know. Road Warriors were just. I don't know.
created them. Demolition held the tag titles like for a long time.
I never liked them. I never liked
They were
them.
okay. I mean,
That's
but,
me. No, what do I don't know? You know.
but you gotta admit, for WWE, they were one of the best tag teams they had. I mean, they're multiple time champions.
Why isn't the Can-Am Express in? With Tito and Tom Zink?
No, that was Can-Am Connection with
Wasn't there Tito Santana? And who was,
Strike Force was with
That's
him
what
and
it was,
Martel.
but you look at people like Jesse Ventura. He should have been in. I mean,
The Midnight isn't in it.
That's
Huh?
personal.
The Midnight
I
isn't
know.
in it.
No, Midnight.
but McMahon's gone though. Huh?
So it could be very different now.
I thought the Midnight was. Oh, that was a Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and roll.
Rock and Roll Express.
And they got in. They were never in WWE really.
They were in there for like a cup of coffee.
They had a couple of matches.
Yeah,
That was about it.
I don't know. It's just with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they put somebody in like Ozzy, who I love, but they haven't had somebody in there that's rock and roll. They should just call it the Music Hall of Fame, but rock and roll has more eyes. I mean, it's like, I'm okay with the rap stuff because, I mean, to me, it's
But-
rock and roll. That doesn't bug me. But when you have somebody in there twice, but one person hasn't been there one, I mean, that's what you got to worry about.
Okay, here's, and I have nothing against rap music. I have nothing against R&B, any of that stuff. But okay, Motley Crue can't even get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Do you think if there was a rap Hall of Fame and Motley Crue was on the nominees, would that make sense?
Well, that's what I mean. They need to change the name. It's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They call it the Music Hall of Fame.
If you're going to call it Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, then
It's a
Don't
glorified museum. That's all it is.
Don't
It's
put
like when Judas Priest got in last year. They were on some kind of like special petition. They weren't actually in the hall. It's like, dude, you're a freaking museum. Get over it.
You don't get anything, do you,
No.
as an artist?
nope, you don't. I'm looking at Hall of Fame snubs right now, and I don't
You
know.
get to sit with Eddie Trunk.
Well, the one rumor I heard was Bray Wyatt could be headlining the Hall of
I've
Fame.
heard Paul Heyman too.
But this is me. This is just me saying it, and it's no disrespect. You can't put him in because he died.
No,
Okay, you can't.
but
He wasn't that great in the ring.
He wasn't that great yet. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
he had unlimited.
But you can't just put him in because he died last year. You
Hell, his
can't.
dad's
That's
not even in. Is his dad in?
No,
IRS. No,
Hey.
he's not. No.
here's one, and this may be
Is
before.
Blackjack? Blackjack's in it.
I think Blackjack's in it. What about Wahoo?
Hi, McDaniels.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could
Should
always
be.
say, well, he wasn't in WWF, but I mean, it's the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, it's
Sting was not. I mean, he
Yeah,
was
I
in
agree.
what,
Yeah.
for a month. Davey
There's
Boy. What about Davey Boy? Smith?
there's so many. Hell, Owen Hart, but I think his wife won't let that happen.
Yeah.
Who did they put in last year? They put in he was a Japanese wrestler in WCW. He wore a mask. I can see him. He wasn't even in WWF at all.
Ultimo Dragon.
No. WWE Hall of Fame 2003.
Why? Speaking of, why not?
2003 or 2023, Jack.
The Great Buddha.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He wasn't in WWE or
No,
F.
he wasn't that big of a deal in WCW either, if you ask me.
No, but that's the thing. He
look,
got in.
Let me tell you, if they'd have kept using him the way they did when he first got there, he would have been something. But for some reason, I don't know what happened. They started.
It's like the WWF was doing. They were putting all these like wrestlers from the 20s in, and it's like nobody really is who they are. I mean, there's a lot of them from the 80s and 90s, 70s that should be put in before people forget about them, though. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you should put in more people that passed on now that people still, their families are around. They can see that, kind of like Paul Bearer, come on.
Did they ever put the Freebirds in?
Yeah, they did in Atlanta.
Okay.
But that's when Kevin Von Erich came down and talked about him. But it was Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes, and Kevin Von Erich got up there and told Terry Gordy was one of the best men I ever knew in my life. It's like, wow.
Oh, and I think Michael did the same for him. When the Von Erichs went in, he told the stories.
What about Luger? What do you guys think about Luger in the Hall of Fame?
He should be in. He should be in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think Luger should be in. Yes. Oh, big time.
Okay,
but he's another one. He's in with the NWO. He should,
But you're gonna get multiple like that. Bam Bam.
Yes.
Okay.
Just for what he did at WrestleMania with Lawrence Taylor, that was a big deal.
All right, this is an older guy, Luthez, but
Luthez was more NWA, but yeah,
he should be in. But all right,
he had like a 50-year career. Luthez was a badass.
Yeah, this is the no-brainer for me, and he would go in with his group, or he could go in by himself. Cornette.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Midnight
Cornette could go in for his booking alone.
Yeah,
what he did with the booking.
The Midnights definitely need to go in.
Oh yeah, both.
Which one?
Both.
All
three actually.
Yeah, I would put all of them in there. Of course, we talked about China, and then the last one, I have no clue who that is. I'm not going to even talk about it. This is
Barry Windham in?
Not individually. He's in with the Horsemen. He came out. The only one that didn't come. Well, the only two.
But Luger's not in with the Horsemen, is he?
No.
The only ones from the Horseman era that before they did the whole Paul Roma deal that didn't come out. Luger didn't come out, and Ole, which Ole, I don't think they wanted Ole there because
Sensational Sherry should be in. Elizabeth should be in.
Miss Elizabeth should be in.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's not, but
because she was the first, like woman manager. I mean, but you have people like Heenan are in. Is Jimmy Hart in?
Mountain South? I don't think so.
He should be in. Jimmy Hart should be in for he wrote all the wrestling lyrics too.
They can literally do like 5 managers a year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like not 5, say maybe 2.
Who would be? I mean, you got Heyman, Jimmy Hart, Cornette,
Gary Hart. He had his time.
Gary Hart. Yeah, I think what's his name should be in. Teddy Long should be in. Teddy Long should be in.
He's already in, I think.
Is he?
I think
Teddy. Yeah, he is.
Playa. What is that? Playa.
Mr. Fuji's in it too, I believe.
Yeah, Mr.
Fuji. Is Kamala in? Kamala?
No, I don't
think so.
Kamala Akbar should be in it for.
I mean, the Godfather's in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
What about Slick? Slick in?
No, I don't think so.
Is DiBiase in?
Yes, Ted's in. Yes.
Yeah. That's what we should do. We should do like top 10 snubs or whatever so far.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
We should do that before the Hall of Fame. Who we have in?
Maybe that should be the next episode.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys heard it right here. Next episode.
Off the Streets would be my number 1 for the Hall of Fame.
That should be the one that got ripped off and never won a Grammy. I mean, come on. Exactly. Jeez. Yeah.
I think Jethro Tull's be jealous, man. Come on.
Yeah, he could have beat Jethro Tull that night. That's for sure. But anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Triple Threat Main Event. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and make sure you give us a follow. You check us out at On the Fly, and you see that underneath me where you can find us. Check out the TikTok that we've got. we've been putting a lot of wrestling stuff up there, a lot of older wrestling stuff, especially from the Crockett era. If you guys want to check it out, if a matter of fact, I just uploaded some a lot of 1986 Crockett stuff. So, which is really that's when they were white hot, dude, with the Horsemen and all that. Yeah, something they're going on every week there. But you guys be sure to check it out. And guys, thank you guys for doing this. I appreciate it. I know your ears aren't thanking you, but anyway, you guys have a great week, and we will see you next time on the Triple Threat main event.
Too sweet.